counting women out counting women out for the flaws that they have themselves. If a woman has a child and you have a child, it makes no sense to me how you would not be willing to date her. And then also, hold on, there's plenty of women who might not be like my mother and my father weren't together, but my father was a provider. Whoever my mother dated never had to worry about me financially in any way. So I don't understand that. It's like the child could have a daddy that's taking care of him, so you don't got to worry about him being your quote-unquote bill.
I've done the stepdad, okay, took care of 2 kids. There's no trophy in it. Now you got to deal with their mouth. You got to deal with, a man walking into their life when they grown and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? I've been in a situation, so I'm speaking on facts. Other people, they speaking about what looks great on the wall, okay? I'm speaking about going through a situation, all right? So, y'all could keep your fucking comments because I don't really give a fuck about what y'all say.
Really started aggravating that men are, counting women out for the flaws.
The other thing, like I was saying, it has nothing to do about being provided. Blended families are a hard situation. They add on the pile to your own shit. Because the thing is, in a traditional relationship, the man is the head, right? So if your son gets disrespectful at 15, 16, and I can't discipline, will you allow your man to discipline your kid? You can pay for him, but can he discipline him? Most women will say,
listen, you know what? Here's the deal. If you don't want to date a woman with children, fine.
I said she got to be a hell of a woman.
So what is a hell of a woman? What is hell of a woman?
You're really making it. Then you say, I got 2 kids, 3 kids, my 3 different baby dads. It's kind of like a strike off. It's like a point off.
You got 2 different baby mamas?
Who said I got 2?
Are they both by the same woman?
No, but y'all couldn't stories together.
Because you told me.
The other thing, like I was saying, it has nothing to do about being provided. Blended families are a hard situation. They add on the pile to you.
Because you told me that the 10-year-old was coming to live with you, and you got a 2-year-old. So you acting like your resume, basically everything you saying, you have that resume. Like if the woman you're describing would be you if you were a woman. Because you told me that the 10-year-old was coming to live with you, and you got a 2-year-old. So you acting like your resume, basically everything you saying, you have that resume. Like if the woman you're describing would be you if you were a woman. Because you told me that the 10-year-old was coming to live with you.
All right. Oh, Lordy. Oh, Lordy. Ah! Hello, Knockouts. Tanya TKO here, and I am a self-love specialist from TanyaTKO.com. Oh, let me stop screen. Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. Do I not have audio? Hold on. Hello? Oh, my gracious. I hope I do have audio. This is unbelievable. Okay, hold on. I need an audio check. Hey, everybody, I'm Tanya TKO, self-love specialist from TanyaTKO.com. Okay, you do hear me because the program says that you cannot. So that is, which makes me wonder, where's my microphone coming in from? Oh, my gracious goodness. I just want to make sure that we have the best audio quality possible and that, you see, these things, they happen. Let me just check my audio real quick, because the audio should be coming in from this right here. Okay, does the mic sound different now, or does it sound like the same mic that you just heard a few seconds ago? You know what? Listen, I want to first start out this video with a level of gratitude for all of you out there. All of the knockouts who are my sponsors for this show. So thank you all. Because of you, I am able to have audio upgrades and software upgrades. And the software that we're using right now is powerful, powerful software. And it is able to do some amazing things. I have not been able to fully expand it out to everything that it can do. But you see, we have some moving motion graphics around the sides. We have able to do picture in picture. Just so many things. We're going to be getting some motion graphics and some other things. And I'm going to give a shout out to the text notification squad. But I want you all to see the new updated, this is still a draft, and I'm having some difficulties with the designer. I don't know what's going on with him and why he's deciding to. I'm not even going to talk about it publicly, but yeah, I'm going to get this up for you all to be able to see the updated thing. I'm going to give a shout out to the first few people who were on the scene today. So let's see if we got that on the screen. Nope, it's not on the screen. Let's see. No, that's not on the screen. It doesn't matter. Is it? Hold on. Let me just make sure I have the right thing on the screen. It's not on the screen. Interesting. Let's, here we go. Now it's on the screen. Growing pains, don't worry. We got it. Don't worry, we got it. But here, so the first people that I saw on the scene was Joanna. Let's see, we had Joanna, then we have Kay Marie, and we have Rebecca, that green vegan, Empress, Felice, Amber, Nicole. Then we got Jazzy who came in. And so I want to give a special shout out to all of you because you all are the MVPs, the people who contribute to the text notification squad to help the channel continue going. It's only $1.99 a month or $4.99 if you're international. And without further ado, let's play the commercial.
Are you tired of missing Tanya TKO's live videos? Arriving late when the video is well underway or about to end? Are you fatigued of only seeing a live video randomly while perusing YouTube and Facebook? Or worse, randomly unsubscribed? Well, now you can get a text notification whenever I go live. No longer are we dependent on the algorithm of these fickle platforms. For just $1.99 a month US and Canada or $4.99 a month international, you get a personalized text message 15 minutes before each live show. Now you can show up early with the Text Squad, meet other people from all over the world, and get invited to secret broadcasts off platform. Most importantly, support your favorite independent creator. Go to tinytko.com, click on text. Join the TKO Text Squad today for just $1.99 a month US and Canada, or $22 a year if you pay in advance, $4.99 a month international, $50 a year if you pay in advance. You'll never again be tardy to the party. I'll see you on the next broadcast. tinytko.com/text.
Yay! You know what? I love that commercial. I really do. The music, which was curated by your girl, everything, I just love it. What do you all think about it? All you have to do is go over to tinytko.com, click on text, and become a part of the text notification squad. If you are part of the text notification squad, go ahead and throw up your 10s right now. Let me see them in the comments. Special shout out to my admin, Budafly. Welcome in, sweetie. Thank you for always showing up and always being here. Thank you. And thank you to the panel of people who are reviewing the very sensitive submissions that we're getting for the people who submitted for the free book, Domestic Violence Survivors Who Are Restarting Their Lives. We got a bunch of submissions in. We are still taking submissions today. And I wanted to announce the winner tomorrow, but I think what we're going to do is we're going to make this a weekly thing, and I think we need time to review the letters. So tomorrow we're going to be doing the voting, and if we can get the voting in enough time, we'll do the announcement tomorrow. If not, I would love to do the announcements on Wednesdays going forward. This is the book right here, the Book of Affirmation, Self-Love. This is my copy right here, and it is a life-changing book. I want to jump into this whole video because this is Kendra G Media right here on the top. This is Kendra G Media right here. And she has a show. She brought us the footage from that show that we did during the early parts of the pandemic with the woman who was looking for a new man because her older male companion, or I think it was her husband, he had gotten COVID. So she had a little baby and she was looking for a new man. So Kendra G brought us that video. And now we have this other video from her. She says it's a 20-minute video. I believe Neighborhood Talk gave us the clips, the snippets, but we're going to watch the actual whole 20-minute video. I want to see what else was said during this boondoggle. It's just unbelievable. What are your thoughts so far? Let me throw my TKO tech squad people up on the screen. Hey, we got Tanya Becker in the house. Yes. Oh, Tanya, you're getting your text now? Because we were having you have to tell me, because we were having a small problem with people in Canada because the Canadian phone system, it's a whole other story out there. But yeah, so these are the text notification people. We have 400 people on the list right now, and we do some secret broadcasts off platform, and they are powerful broadcasts where we are able to just dive into some very deep topics. So thank you all for participating. Come June, and we better get a move on it. Come June, we're going to have the studio audience option fleshed out so that you all can participate that way. And so if you're in the comments, what Twix, where'd 9 come from? We ain't got there yet. So if you're in the comments, listen, we're on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter Periscope right now. If you're in the comments and you're enjoying being on the text notification squad, let other people know why they should join, because there were some people, it was controversial when we first launched. Remember, Robert, how come you're not on the text notification squad? I haven't seen you in any of our private broadcasts. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome. Perfect. All right. So listen, let's jump into this full video. What are your thoughts about this so far? So he said he's a single father who he's a baby mama maker. That's what he is. He's made 2 baby mamas, yet he doesn't want to date single mothers. I think it's strange, but without further ado, let's jump into the remaining part of the video. And I don't get it myself, but let's see. Maybe he has a great explanation for it. You know what I mean? Maybe he got a great explanation, and we just not up on it.
What's your name, baby?
Josh.
Josh?
Josh.
Oh, Lordy have mercy. I'm sorry. I was trying to press the volume.
Josh?
Justin.
Oh, Justin. Justin, how old are you?
34.
34. Where you calling us from?
I'm in Chicago now.
Chicago. Okay, this is Justin, 34, Chicago. You have any kids?
Yeah, 2. Boy and girl.
How old are your kids?
My boy is 10 and my girl is 2.
You got a 2-year-old?
Yeah. Got a 2-year-old.
Why you not with the mom?
Drama. Because I like freedom, that's why.
You like freedom? You didn't have freedom with your child's mom?
No. Somebody would be in jail, put it like that.
Oh, no, well, we don't want that.
Right.
Justin, 34, he's an Aquarius, Chicago, 2 kids, and he works in the mortgage industry. Let's go, baby. What kind of female are you looking for?
Just someone who is honest and loyal. If she can meet them.
Justin, what's some deal breakers for you?
Ghetto, unhonest, and loud.
So, Justin, what was your relationship? Was it your child's mother?
No, it wasn't. It was about almost 2 years ago.
You was dating somebody as you was having a baby?
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
I gotta pause this. I'm sorry. Oh my God. Oh my Lord. I wish I had the studio audience with me today because I need somebody to save me from this mess. What is this foolishness? The baby mama maker The Baby-Momma-Maker is sitting up there talking about his last relationship was as he was creating a child someplace else. He wants someone loyal, but he was philandering. His seed is not sacred because he's squirting it and spraying it across the nation. And what the HE double hockey sticks? I'm sorry, I'm confused. Are any of you out there catching this mess? Oh my Lord. Let's continue going forward. This is madness. This is madness.
How's mother when she was pregnant?
No.
Now you sound like a bad guy, Justin.
Bad guy. That's another story. There's more to it, so it's just not that simple.
I'm glad she was keeping it real.
Were y'all in a relationship when you got her pregnant?
No. We were on the verge of breaking up.
So
We were breaking up. You know how it go. You mess around with somebody, the last person you know. When y'all broken up, y'all just broke up. You
said you were in a relationship.
One more time.
Didn't he say his last relationship was 2 years ago? He has a 2-year-old child. So what is he talking about? As the woman was giving birth, he was in a relationship with someone else. I feel like, am I missing something? Let me go back because I feel like I didn't hear or something, like something's not making sense.
It's just not that simple.
Were y'all in a relationship?
Hold on.
Yeah. That's why I laughed.
So you wasn't.
Hold on.
It was about almost 2 years ago. It's about.
You was dating somebody as you was having a baby?
Yeah, I was. Yeah. That's why I laughed.
So you wasn't with your child's mother when she was pregnant?
No.
Now you sound like a bad guy, Justin.
Bad guy. Hey, that's another story. There's more to it, so it's just not that simple.
Were y'all in a relationship when you got her pregnant?
No. We were on the verge of breaking up.
So
we were breaking up. You know how it go. You mess around with somebody, the last person you know. When y'all broken up, y'all just broke up. You might dibble and dabble one more time.
No.
So hold on. Help me. I don't have my studio audience here with me today. Help me understand. Help me. I feel like I'm not understanding. He said he was in a relationship, but he was breaking up with someone else. And he was having intercourse with the person that it was the last person he was in the relationship with because he was dabbling. But he was having unprotected intercourse with a person he was breaking up with. So you just footloose and fancy free with your penis and semen? God, I don't understand. So they were breaking up, but he was in another relationship at the time. Oh, no. Because it takes 9 months to have a baby. So his child is 2. So, okay, I think I'm understanding. So she got pregnant as they were breaking up. 9 months later, he was in another relationship as the person he was breaking up with had the baby. Okay, I got it now. This guy sounds used up. I'm just going to say it. He sounds used up. And, I don't like talking bad about people, but I have to follow my heart and speak what's on my mind. Because my channel is so large now that people who I talk about see my videos. Like before, we could give very honest feedback and it was just between us. But now they're seeing it. My Facebook page has almost 1 million people on it and the videos get around. Let me just say this, right? This guy, he's not careful with his semen. He is out here having intercourse, Harry-carily. He's laughing, he's joking. He thinks that this is funny. And he's going to try to posit himself as a high-value male, right? And as a person who is a certified clinical hypnotherapist, I am a certified clinical hypnotherapist. I'm a life coach with a specialty in relationship coaching. I need you all to pay very close attention to the words that people say. So you all know that I have my self-love affirmations book. Once a year, I autograph copies, and I'm sending out the autograph copies now, right? Words are very important. What it is that we focus on are very important. Sometimes you all ask me to put inscriptions in the books, and I have to change the inscriptions because the focus is often on what we don't want. instead of on what we do want. So when we start talking about what it is that we want in a person, when you're describing what it is that you don't want, like if you look at what it is, how he described what it is that he wants, right? He wanted, let's go back, because I want you to pay attention. These are the lessons right here that we need to break down. Let's go back to what it is that he says that he wants.
Why you not with the mom?
Listen.
Chicago. Okay, this is Johnson, 34, Chicago. You have any kids?
Yeah, 2. Boy and girl.
How old are your kids?
My boy is 10 and my girl is 2.
You got a 2-year-old?
Yeah. Got a 2-year-old.
Why you not with the mom?
He has a 2-year-old child. He's on the internet drinking, trying to be on some dating show looking for a woman. You need to be... Listen, and let me just conclude. I'm going to keep my...
Drama. Because I like freedom, that's why.
You like freedom?
So you see him talking about drama, right? When people start talking about, describing their life and they're using words like drama and jail and all this other stuff, it lets you know there's you remember what was the name of that character from Charlie Brown? He had all of this dust flying around him. Pigpen. Yes, that's his name. Thank you. That's his name. This guy has all of this dust flying out, had drama, liars, jail, a child that's 2, my penis was inside of somebody else, I'm squirting, I'm this, I'm that. It's like, you know what I'm gonna get? I need a sound machine. That's what I need. Because when we start listening to people like this talk, I need the sound of dust blowing and the tumbleweeds. I need a graphic of a tumbleweed blowing so that we can see in the dust from the west. You know, those old Western towns and the dust. That's what I need. This is what we're going for next. And we need the sound. So that we can see and understand that this is a dust muffin here. This is a dust muffin. Let's continue going forward. This is a dust mite here. This is who this is. Let's continue.
You didn't have freedom with your child's mom?
No. Somebody would be in jail, put it like that.
Oh no, well, we don't want that.
Right.
Justin, 34, he's an Aquarius, Chicago, 2 kids, and he works in the mortgage industry. Let's go, baby. What kind of female are you looking for?
Just someone who is honest and loyal. If she can meet them.
Justin, what's some deal breakers for you?
Ghetto, unhonest, and loud.
This is what, do you see? This is where his life is. Ghetto, unhonest, loud. This is a grown man. He's grown. He came on with his suit jacket on and his little, you saw the thing inside of the pocket, right? Ladies, please, let's not be fooled. Anyone can go and buy a suit. What type of tailoring have they done on the inside? So they could buy a suit. They may tailor, but what type of tailoring have they gotten on the inside? Unhonest? Let's keep going forward.
So, Justin, what was your relationship? Was it your child's mother?
No, it wasn't. It was about almost 2 years ago.
You was dating somebody as you was having a baby?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, that's why I laughed.
So you wasn't with your child's mother when she was pregnant?
No.
Now you sound like a bad guy, Justin.
Bad guy, that's another story. There's more to it, so it's just not that simple.
Were y'all in a relationship when you got her pregnant?
No. We were on the verge of breaking up.
So
we were breaking up. You know how it go. You mess around with somebody, the last person you know, when y'all broken up, y'all just broke up, you know, you might dibble and dabble one more time.
No.
Not
there and get pregnant.
Well, Just put it like this. It was baby Jesus. Yeah, they want to post that.
They said that you ghetto, Justin. Now that was ghetto what you did.
Well, call it what you want. I guess I'm ghetto. I got some in me too, so don't let this.
You got some ghetto into you too. All right, so why'd you break up with the person your last relationship?
Because we're in court actually. I had to sue her.
You're suing your ex-girlfriend?
Yeah, she stole my jewelry, other items, and pawned it.
No, I cannot do this. I cannot do this. I cannot do this. I need my studio audience here. You know what? I thought this was going to be a simple video, so I didn't send out the message to the studio audience. As a matter of fact, I should send it out right now. I should send out the message to the studio audience and get you all on here so that we can discuss this boondoggle. What is this madness? I need to take notes on all of the ghetto effery. You heard him say it. I got some in me too. Of course, N-word, of course. We knew that from the description of the type of women that you're used to dealing with. We knew that already. You didn't even have to say. I knew, and I called it, didn't I? This is my first time watching this with you all. I just should I send out the notification for the studio audience to come on? Are you all want to discuss this mess? Let's see, because this is what the F she stole his jewel. Come on, N-word. Come on, what the H? Come on, this doesn't make any daggone sense. I'm sorry. Let's continue.
And filed false police reports on me to cover up her crimes.
Okay, first of all, that's tacky as hell. That's terrible. But let me ask you a question. Do you think maybe you might pick the wrong women, Justin?
I like Kendra. Thank you, Kendra. What the F? Thank you. I'm glad she said it. Thank you. Let me take a look at these comments and see if you all want to come in on this mess here. Let me see. Are you all, if my text notification squad is down to come on for the studio audience, let me know. If you are, put up the number 11. Yes, look at Kendra's face. Look, this is my sentiments exactly. If you are, put up the number 11, and I'll send out the notification before this brouhaha is over, because this is okay. So we have some people who want to come forward. Okay. Kay. Is Kay a guy? You look like a dude. Well, the picture is of a dude. You never know nowadays. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So listen. If you need to go put on a little powder, go ahead, because I'm about to send out the notification, right? I'm going to let this video play. I'm going to send out the notification. We're going to come back with the live studio audience, because this right here, I thought this was going to be a simple video, but no. This needs to be discussed. This is some madness. Take your notes, ladies and gentlemen. And if you want to join the text notification squad who is in beta testing the studio audience with me, go to the link in the description, because the link is there on how to join. And if you've joined while we were on live, then you'll get your notification in just a moment, because this is too much. This right here is too much. It's too much. Okay. All right. So listen, anybody who's going to talk, make sure that you know that you're going to be on camera. All right. Here we go again. Let's dive back into this. This is a mess. This really is.
Instagram, she women empowerment, motivational speaker, and all that high-ride bullshit. Those fake jobs, influencer, all that. Between influencer, she influencing nobody.
Ooh, child. So let's see. Do you like? Okay, Justin. Now I gotta admit, the women examples you have given us. We're questioning how you treat women.
No, it's not as true. It's not real.
You left your child's mother while she was pregnant.
I left her before she was pregnant. Then found out she was pregnant.
Well, at some point in time, she got pregnant by you. So she had to get pregnant by you. So if you left her a month after you got her pregnant, whatever. But whatever the case may be, you didn't decide to try to figure out the relationship. Right?
No, I told you I ended up in jail or somebody end up dead. When somebody pulls a gun out on you multiple times, you go stay in a relationship with?
Did she pull a gun out with you before?
Hold the hell up. So before we jump over there, I'm just going to check on the audience and just make sure that everybody is okay. How are you all doing over here? We're getting ready to jump back into the video, so forgive the little bit of a delay, but we're here. Kelly says, I was just trying to consider all aspects for that dust. F-boy mentality, that is all. Light skin is just a title for Black people that can pass for white, but now people use it if they're just lighter than dark brown. How interesting. Some macarons and some oh Lord, those are the snacks you all went to go get. Get healthy snacks. I should have told you all. Get healthy snacks because we're sitting around. We're going to be sitting we've already been on here for an hour. We ain't even got through 10 minutes of this video yet. Why would an obvious brown girl refer to herself as light skin? Self-colorism. I don't know what we're talking about. His complexion doesn't mean anything to me. His behavior does. Child, there's a lot going on in this video. That's false. It was a title for people who were, and then it got cut off. Oh, you all are getting these sugary snacks? You know what? We didn't check the apples. I don't know what happened with the sound for the apples. The sound just stopped. It stopped notifying me. I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to check them right now. There are some apples that, wow, there's a lot of apples that have come in. So what we're going to do is we're going to play some more of the video, and then we're going to check the apples. All right. So let's continue going forward.
Suing your ex-girlfriend?
Yeah, she stole my jewelry, other items, and pawned it, and filed false police reports on me to cover up her crimes.
Okay, first of all, that's tacky as hell. That's terrible. But let me ask you a question. Do you think maybe you might pick the wrong women, Justin?
Go on her Instagram. She a women empowerment, motivational speaker, and all that high-ride bullshit. Those fake jobs, you know, influencer, all that. Between influencer, no, she influencing nobody.
Ooh, child. So let's see. Do you like? Okay, Justin. Now I gotta admit, the women examples you have given us. You know, we're questioning how you treat women.
No, it's not an S-curve. It's not real, man.
You know, you left your child's mother while she was pregnant.
I left her before she was pregnant. They found out she was pregnant.
Well, at some point in time, she got pregnant by you. So she had to get pregnant by you. So if you left her a month after you got her pregnant, you know, whatever. But whatever the case may be, you didn't decide to try to figure out the relationship, right?
No, I told you I end up in jail or somebody end up dead. When somebody pulls a gun out on you multiple times, you go stay in a relationship with?
Did she pull a gun out with you before you got her pregnant?
Yeah.
Well, then that's your fault. Why'd you get her pregnant if she's pulling guns out on you?
I tried to get her pregnant. I just told you that we got baby Jesus.
Trying to get her pregnant, did you have sex with her?
I don't recall.
You see what I'm saying? This N-word, I can't. This, oh my gosh, the negrosity of this all. He doesn't recall. Oh God, this is why you got to ask questions. You know what? I need to finish up the game that I started creating in the beginning of this year. And then so many stories started coming on that I didn't even get to finish the game. But we need to finish this game, the game I was making for you all to be able to ask the poignant questions in the beginning of these relationships so that you could vet out foolishness like this. Let's keep going.
Now, Justin, you know you're full of shit right now, right?
Right now,
At this moment, we're going to call it what it is. Now, you came on, you look handsome. You look good, okay? You came on clean cut, and I had a lot of hopes for you. But you got a lot of shit with you, Justin.
Ain't a lot of shit. My shit in the past. The thing is, you want a guy to be upfront with you and tell you, look, it's 2 + 2, which equals 4. You got to take it or accept it. Or you want a guy to come on live and lie, then later you find out, oh, he ain't shit. Everybody got something that, you know, you want to call baggage or something like that, you know what I'm saying? So I'm up front with mine.
Oh my God. Oh my God. He's talking about all of his stuff is in the past. Your 2-year-old is not in the past. Your 10-year-old is not in the past. Just a few months ago, a woman had a gun pulled out on you. It's too much. Gosh.
What it is. Either you like it, you take it or not. At the end of the day, there's going to be advantages over there.
What's the advantages of being with you, Justin?
Fun and exciting.
Fun and exciting. Now, is it your goal to meet a woman and settle down? Is that your goal?
Yeah, of course.
But you got two cases. You left one girl, left or whatever, but you got a girl pregnant and you didn't decide to be with her, and now you're suing your last girlfriend. Not saying she didn't deserve it, but those are two big red flags.
You know what? Oh, God. I feel like there's a part that was missing. Because remember when the video went out? Where's the part where she said that the pregnant... Oh, God, help me. Why? Where's the part where she talked about the pregnant woman pulling the gun out on him? Where's that part? I feel like we got to go back again. Jesus, oh, my Lord. Oh, my gosh. Listen. I want to get through this. This doesn't make any sense. Let's go back. I'm sorry for this video is a boondoggle. This whole video is a mess. Let's go back. Let's see.
You got some ghetto into you too. All right, so
okay.
Not there and get pregnant.
Well, just put it like this. It's baby Jesus. Yeah, they want to post that.
They say that you ghetto, Justin. Now that was ghetto what you did.
Well, call it what you want. I guess I'm ghetto. I got some in me too, so don't let this.
You got some ghetto into you too.
You don't say.
So why'd you break up with the person your last relationship?
Because we're in court. Actually, I had to sue her.
You're suing your ex-girlfriend?
Yeah, she stole my jewelry, other items, and pawned it, and filed falsely with police reports on it to cover up her crimes.
Okay, first of all, that's tacky as hell. That's terrible. Well, let me ask you a question. Do you think maybe you might pick the wrong women, Justin?
I'm sorry. This is just so stupid. So he's dating women. He's dating women who he feels is he's dating women who feel it is acceptable to rob you. Listen. To rob you. Pull a gun out on you. This just doesn't make any doggone sense. So he's dating, listen, studio audience, listen. I need somebody to tell me something. He's dating a woman that feels that it is acceptable to pull a gun out on you, rob you, pawn your stuff, and all of this while pregnant. It's too much. And he's on here looking for a woman who is going to want to deal with this. I need to know who is going to want to deal with this mess. Oh my Lord, this is too much. This is too much. It's too much.
Oh, go on her Instagram. She women empowerment, motivational speaker, and all that high-ride bullshit. Those fake jobs, influencer, all that. Between influencing, she influencing nobody.
So what Kendra is probably thinking is, even if she said all those things, or even if it's positive, first of all, I don't believe him. But even if a person has this facade, right? So the influencer pulling a gun out on him, right? Even if a person has this facade, once you meet them and get to know them, it is still your choice to be behind the scenes dating them. He still continued to date this woman after he says she pulled a gun out on him multiple times. This just doesn't make any sense.
Stop. So let's see. Do you okay, Justin? Now I gotta admit, the women examples you have given us, we're questioning how you treat women.
No, it's not an S curl. It's not real.
You know, you left your child's mother while she was pregnant.
I left her before she was pregnant. Then found out she was pregnant.
Well, at some point in time, she got pregnant by you. So she had to get pregnant by you. So if you left her a month after you got her pregnant, you know, whatever. But whatever the case may be, you didn't decide to try to figure out a relationship, right?
No, I told you I end up in jail or somebody end up dead. When somebody pulls a gun out on you multiple times, you gonna stay in a relationship with?
Did she pull a gun out with you before you got her pregnant? Well, then that's your fault. Why'd you get her pregnant and she's pulling guns out on you?
I think I tried to get her pregnant. I just told you we got baby Jesus.
Trying to get her pregnant? Did you have sex with her?
I don't recall.
You don't recall. Now, Justin, you know you full of shit right now, right?
Yeah.
But you know what? This is a 35-year-old man. This is not a child. This is a 35-year-old man. Or is he 34? This man is in his 30s. 34, I think she said. I don't get it. You know what? This is dumb. This is dumb. This is dumb.
Now, at this point, we're gonna call it what it is. Now, you came on. You look handsome. You look good. Okay. You came on clean cut, and I had a lot of hopes for you. But you got a lot of shit with you, Justin.
Ain't a lot of shit. My shit in the past. The thing is, you want a guy to be upfront with you and tell you, look, it's 2 + 2, which equals 4. You gonna take it or accept it, or you want a guy to come on live and lie. Then later you find out, oh, he ain't shit.
I just need to say this because men have tried this with me in my personal life. They've tried this mess. I just want to hip you to the game, right? People will try to get you to accept their nonsense by saying, well, I was truthful with you. No. The truth is expected. You need to be truthful. But just because you are truthful doesn't mean that I am mandated to deal with the effery that exists in the truth of your situation. The truth has no owner. You don't own the truth. So don't allow people to gaslight you like this, because in his mind, the alternatives are either tell the truth and you better accept me, or I'll get you to accept me by lying to you. No, those are not the only alternative. The alternative is based on the truth. You and I are not a good match. The truth, whether it doesn't change, I'm not going to be with you and deal with this mess and give you some kudos because you told the truth. You don't own the truth. You're just expressing what is. And I am making an educated decision based on what is, that you are not the one for me. So please, in your own personal lives, when people try to gaslight you like this, please let them know, okay, well, based on this truth, it's just not a good fit. It's not a good fit. And come on.
Everybody got something that, you want to call baggage or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm upfront with mine. This is what it is. Either you like it, you take it, or not.
Everybody does not have shootouts with their ex. Everybody does not have a 2-year-old child born in a dysfunctional situation because you couldn't control your testicular sacs. This is not the type of baggage that everybody has. Some people's baggage is they wear glasses. They are in therapy. They've had therapy. Like other people have baggage that is resolved. Other people have dust that has cleared out. It's like going over to a person's house and they're like, well, everybody's house is currently filthy. No, everybody lives. And yes, junk can compile. But some people sweep the junk out. Some people hoard it. This man is, I need to come up with a word. He's a dust hoarder. He's hoarding all this dust in his life. This is filthy. Who would want to be a part of this? Who?
At the end of the day, there's going to be advantages over there.
What's the advantages of being with you, Justin?
One, and exciting.
We don't want this type of excitement, son. Yes, bucking shots, ducking bullets, and police and drama, and beating people up, and falling down on the floor, and drinking. The man can't even control his own urges to drink. He's on live drinking in what looks like a tubular snifter. This is too much.
Now, is it your goal to meet a woman and settle down? Is that your goal?
Yeah, of course.
But you got two cases. You left one girl, left or whatever, but you got a girl pregnant and you didn't decide to be with her, and now you're suing your last girlfriend. Not saying she didn't deserve it, but those are two big red flags, don't you think?
If somebody steals $8,000 worth of stuff, then pawns it, then fake like you're harassing them, put police reports in on you like you're harassing them when you're trying to get your stuff back.
I can't even comment. Let's continue. This is just so dumb. He said his stuff is in the past. You're currently in court. You're currently tied to another woman in this drama-filled relationship, which is ongoing.
Then, take it a step further, they go put an order of protection out on you or try to put one on you, but the case don't get, it gets denied. You go all the way up to, this goes to trial, and you don't show up to trial because it was all bullshit. And you go far as lying, everything was lied, just so you cannot go to jail. Only reason why she didn't go to jail is because COVID happened. Otherwise, she'd be locked up. So, at this point, you owe me some money. And I want my money back.
I'm not going to blame you for anything, but why did she steal from you? Do you have a reason why?
Anyway, but we were done. She didn't know I had a child away, but we were done. We didn't date. We only dated like 3 months. I was done with her. I don't owe you an explanation like she told me. I don't owe you shit. Okay, fine, I don't owe you shit. So don't ask for an explanation. Where's my stuff? Run my shit back. Yeah, I did. Well, yeah, I chose at the beginning, but I found out she was a fraud. I found out she was a fake. She was lying about everything. She went on Instagram. She fronts on Instagram, but then you on child support. I mean, not child support. You know, food stamps, employment, but then you go on Instagram how you're a successful businesswoman. Really? How you are influencing women to be great. What, great on food stamps? And government assistance? That's what great is?
Okay, but real quick, you didn't think if you were dating a girl, she needed to know you had a baby on the way? Because that could be tricky because how does she know you didn't get the girl pregnant while y'all were together? I think if you're dating someone, that's worthy information to say, oh, by the way, I have a baby coming. I think she had the right to know that.
Once you cross a certain threshold, yeah, we never crossed that.
But you dated for 3 months. You don't think at least I
Just sweating with all these questions. Yeah.
Say again?
Feel like I said you got me over there sweating with all these questions. Feel like I'm on trap.
Well, I mean, because listen, I'm not going to take away from what the women did, but you're doing something to attract that type of woman. And I think,
There's only 2 women.
But they're 2 significant things. One pregnant that you wasn't with, another one you suing.
Well, me and her dated for 3 years, so all my relationships have been years. Okay, so multiple years.
Okay. I'm gonna stop grilling you. Maybe there's a female who wants to get to know you better. Do you have an age range that you want to date?
As long as she's legal.
As long as she's legal. So 21 is fine with you?
18 is fine with him. You heard him.
If she meets the requirements, yeah.
And what are your requirements again? Oh, you just said you had no really to have any requirements.
I did, as long as she's honest and loyal.
Honest and loyal and not ghetto. Okay. Can she have children?
She got to be a hell of a woman to have a child.
You have 2 kids.
And that's different.
How?
Because the man usually is the provider, right? So I got to pay for her kids. Ain't no trophy to being a stepfather. So I ain't saying she can't have them.
You have 2 kids that she would be a stepmom to.
Yeah, but
how you know she want to do? Like, there's women who have no children, So if a woman has no kids, you're fine with her saying, I don't want to date you because you have 2 kids. That you would understand that.
Ain't no problem. There's plenty of women that do or will.
I just think, men these days, there's single moms out there just like you because you're a single dad because you're not, well, the kids don't live with you, so it's a little different. But it really bothers me that men are looking like, I'm not dating a woman with kids. Well, you have kids yourself.
But that's the thing. If we date, you have 2 kids, they gonna be in the house with me. I'm be waking up, seeing your kids more than I see my own kids, putting their book bag on, taking them to school, right? So when I feed them, that's money out of my child's mouth. So I got
How is that money out of your child's mouth? I mean, if you're getting, first of all, if the kids don't live with you, that's your problem, not her problem.
Those women get custody more than men.
Did you try to get custody of your children?
Doing that right now?
So you're in the process of trying to get full custody of your children?
Yeah, well, my son's coming to live because he's up in age, so he's 10, so.
Okay, so now you have that. Now a woman has to, no longer this child's with you. So a woman has to accept you being a single dad with your child living with you. What's the difference? Just say your 10-year-old child's moving in with you.
Once again, the man takes care of the household, right? He's the provider, right? So a woman just comes in and does what?
She makes your life better if you're lucky. You'll be lucky to get
right.
Because what you should know, you should, if anything, from the track record of the women you just told us about, you should pray to God you get a great woman. Because you just described 2 women that you dealt with that kind of making your life hell. You got one with a baby with that you wasn't with. You got one you got to sue. So you should appreciate a good woman more than any man watching right now.
And they.
Oh my Lord, I have a headache listening to this fool. I'm sorry, I don't mean to call him names. My bad. I have a headache. This is a lot. Yo, I'm gonna bring the studio audience up. We're gonna read some of the apples, and then this is tiring. This is why some women just can't look good when they with people like this. They just drain you of your life essence and energy. This is a lot right here. Let's get the studio audience back up. Studio audience, I'm gonna allow you all to unmute yourselves and let's come back into some rounds of applause. And then we shall hold on. We're gonna get it together just right now. All right, there we go. All right. So listen, I don't even know what is going on out here. Oh my gosh. Listen, come in with the round of applause, everybody. Listen, come in with the round of applause, everybody. Oh, I'm hearing. Hold on. I need to mute myself. Hold on. Let me mute myself. I'm sorry, because I'm in the room too. See me right there? Oh, somebody has me on their speaker. All right, so listen. I'm gonna have all of you mute. This is too much. It's too much sound. Everybody needs to mute. Okay, sorry. Oh, you can't hear me when I'm okay. All right. I didn't realize. Okay. All right. So listen. Oh my Lord. I see that there's some hands up. This is a lot. Okay. So we have Angelica, who is the first person up with their hand. Let's hear. What's going on, Angelica? Unmute yourself. Oh, I need to allow you to unmute. Hold on. Let me, there you go. Go ahead. Unmute yourself, please.
Good afternoon, Tanya, and everybody who's on today.
Oh my goodness.
This is unbelievable what this guy is doing. I just don't get it. What in the world is wrong with him? Breaking a lot of people's hearts like that and then going around having these children, and not being responsible as a father should be. I mean, I don't understand what this guy is going through.
You think somebody's heart is broken?
Yeah.
Whose heart do you think is broken out there?
especially the females that he had, that thought that he was going to be responsible and stay with them even if they have a child together.
Wait a minute. Did you hear that there was a pregnant woman with a gun out bucking shots at him?
Yeah, I heard some of that.
So what is the caliber of the woman in these relationships? This sounds like there's problems all around.
True, it does. You never know. I mean, they probably got so hurt that they definitely went too far to pull a gun on him, you know?
You think that's what it is? They were just so hurt they had to pull the gun out? Well, you know, I'd love to find out what made a person decide that she was going to pull out a pistol. That needs to be discussed. All right. Well, Angelica, thank you very much. Go ahead and put yourself back on mute. Joanna, girl, what is this boondoggle? Unmute yourself, Joanna. Come forward. What is this? Oh, Joanna, you don't... Oh, okay. You must have had her hand up by mistake or from the last time. Come forward, Ashley.
Hello.
Yeah, Ashley, what is this?
He's on a carousel ride. He doesn't know where he's going or what he wants. I think he's on that show for some 5 minutes of fame. Nobody's gonna want to date that man.
You don't think people are gonna come a running? You don't think people are gonna come a running? Oh, okay. So you think he's just out there for the fame?
He just didn't make any sense. He's on a roller coaster or merry-go-round there, and he just keeps circling back. He wants honesty, and that's all he wants. And then he says he doesn't want people that already have children. And honestly, it sounded like he was holding back from saying that. What's the woman gonna do? Be lazy? Like that's what he wanted to say.
Oh wow, I missed that.
Provide?
Yeah.
Like, oh, she comes in and what does she give? Or what does she provide or whatever? Like she's nothing.
Yeah, that's the thing. These guys got these men filled up on octane, thinking that they are quote unquote high value. Vegeta, come on forward, my dear.
Hello, Sonia. Like I said earlier, a lot of men like him feel entitled. A lot of men think the same way he thinks, and a lot of men do not want to date women with children, but they have children as well. And when guys come up to me, I ask certain questions in the beginning because until women start treating a lot of these men like they treat us, this is what I do to men. When they come up to me, they say, I don't want to date a woman with kids, but guess what? Do you have children? If they say yes, but I don't want to date you. Because just like you feel like that's baggage, I'm going to feel like you got baggage too, even though your kids don't live with you. At the same time, that's being selfish. That's very selfish to me. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of men have this delusion that they're bringing all this to the table, but they're sending you their representative because they know they're not going. If they're honest with you from the beginning, they already know they might get shut down. So they play this game. So I don't play the radio with them. You know, I let them know up front. A lot of men require and expect the women what they don't require and expect from themselves.
Okay. But is there not a difference when the child is living with the couple versus outside the home?
Not to me, because unless the couple and the kids and you all have an understanding, but a lot of times it's gonna be real. Because I think a lot of my friends go through this, and it's so draining. It's drama, and I see a lot of them go through a lot. You know, even my brother, he was married before, and he tried to dog his ex-wife out because he's like, well, nobody is going to want her because she had children. I said, those are your children. So how are you going to fix your mouth to say that? Yes, you're my brother, but you're wrong. I said, but now you have kids. You are a single father. You know they don't live with you, but guess what? The woman you going after is a single woman.
Right. So you got dust muffins in your family too?
I sure do. I don't tap dance with nobody. Family, I sure don't. I let them know up front. When you're wrong, you're wrong. Don't do that.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Listen, your accent is so cute. Where are you representing from?
I'm from Georgia, but I live in Texas.
Okay. Where's your accent from?
Georgia.
Oh, that's a Georgia accent? Okay. Well, thank you so much for participating. All right. Put yourself back on mute. Nina, come forward.
Hello, Tanya.
Girl, what is going on in these streets?
That dude, so he starts off on a dating site. He looks halfway decent, right?
Mm-hmm.
The more he talks, the less curly his hair looked, the less light his skin looked, the less nice that little shirt he had on looked. The more he talked, he looked like a complete ragamuffin. How do you describe the woman you don't want as exactly who you are? He literally doesn't want to be in a relationship with. He is the woman that he's describing. I guess he doesn't see that. And this whole thing with men don't want women with children, it's going to depend on a man, because I had 2 children before I got married, and my husband was glad to have a ready-made family. This little dusty boy, I don't know what he's doing, but he needs to go reevaluate himself, because he doesn't want to date himself. Then maybe he should change how his life is going. Maybe he should figure out how to make it work with the baby mamas. Maybe he should date 18-year-old children if he wants a woman to settle down with and have a life with. Maybe he should have wrapped it up before he did it, so he wouldn't have kids, and he would be a single dad out here in these streets trying to date single women who actually don't have children. Because women don't want to deal with your bad kids the same way you don't want to deal with the woman's bad kids. So just keep that in mind. And the money that you're sending off to pay for your children, some women are like, you could have bought me a gift with that. You could have bought us a house with that. You could pay my car note with that. So he should just sit down and be single. He should just sit down and be single.
You know, I have a few questions for you, Nina. You said the longer he talked, the less light his skin looked, the less curly his hair looked. What did you mean by that?
What I mean is, he clearly thinks he's a prize, right?
Okay.
He clearly thinks he's bringing everything to the relationship. He clearly thinks he's a great catch. He clearly thinks he's good looking and he's suave and he can get any girl he wants and talk and do what he wants to do. He clearly thinks he is the top person in the relationships that he's in. He clearly thinks that.
Well, you know what? I want to find out a little more about what you think, because you talked about things about him that were appealing. Curly hair, light skin, the suit. However, I feel like that's a little revealing into yourself and what you think is appealing.
Actually, my husband is a big, fat, dark-skinned, balding guy who's in his 50s. Looks have never impressed me. I like all kind of men: white, black, short, tall, Indian, Asian, big, small. I like boys, okay? That's never been an issue for me. When you have a crappy attitude and a crappy personality and a crappy outlook on life, you could be the most aesthetically pleasing Adonis of a man and look like a dust muffin. And that's what that little boy just did in that video. To himself. He did it to himself. So where
is the whole curly hair, light skin, being appealing thing coming from? Where's that coming from?
I think that he aesthetically has a look that people would find attractive.
Oh.
I believe that. However, he opened his mouth and took all of that away.
Got you.
You can't just say any old thing out of your mouth and then still think. He looks like a gremlin at this point. Like, who wants that? Who wants to date a person with that attitude?
I feel you. Well, thank you for explaining and elaborating on that. Put yourself back on mute. Come forward, Allie. And then after that, we're going to read some of the apples. Come forward, Allie.
Oh, hold on. Okay, I am off mute.
Okay, yes.
Salutations, everyone, and Tanya. How are you doing?
Hi, we're fine, thank you. So talk to us, my dear.
How's everyone doing this? Good. Oh, this is a lot. That's all I got to say. But the thing that scares me, just 2 things, and I'm going to keep it short, sweet, and to the point, like my English teacher used to say back when I lived in California. Number 1, the fact of the matter that you're having a pregnant woman keep constantly shoot at you. That tells me that you probably were abusive. You probably had put your hands on her far too many times for her to go and just start pulling a gun out on you. That's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like abuse, because why would a woman, and I know plenty of women who, some of them, I won't say are crazy, but some of them that have been in really erratic relationships, And they just don't just go out willy-nilly and just start pulling a gun on someone.
Yeah.
That don't make sense.
So you think you think he did some things to to provoke the gun attack?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay.
100%.
Okay. Go forward.
Okay, number 2 would be his youngest daughter. I tried to listen as much as I possibly can. But the thing is, his daughter is going to see how he acts, and you know how they say the past predicts your future.
Mm-hmm.
Why do I have this funny feeling that his daughter is going to end up with some garbage like him? And he's going to accept that.
Oh, wow. You think that he'll feel that a man like him is good enough for his daughter?
I think he's going to feel that the kind of way that he is presenting himself, and if she's around, she's 2.
Mm-hmm.
Some people may think because she's a 2-year-old, she doesn't maybe pick up on certain social cues or whatever and the like. But I feel that if she's exposed to this at an early age, then yes, this is what's going to happen. And he's not going to care.
Oh, wow. You think he won't care? But these men typically want the best for their daughters.
No, I don't.
Oh, interesting.
Not all of them protect their daughters.
Interesting. Okay. Interesting. Okay. I always thought that there was a double standard that they had. So thank you for that perspective. We appreciate that. We appreciate that. All right. So go ahead and put yourself back on mute. All right. And so we are going to read some of the apples that have come in. There have been a lot of people who have sent messages. So let's make sure that we go ahead and read those now. Okay. So we have Sierra, who's, oh, wow. Sierra sends $50 and says, support. I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much, my dear. Thank you for that love. Wow. Thank you. All right. And then we have Raynette, who sends $5 and says, sending love and blessings. Thank you so much, Raynette. Thank you. And we have, let's see, we have Mia, who sends $25 and says support, heart, heart, heart from Mia Simone. Thank you so much, Mia. Wow, the love is pouring in. I really appreciate that. And then we have Maurice, who sends $1 and says, how many asked for free books? There are, I'd say, somewhere between 20 and 50 submissions. They're still coming in. So we are going to be going through those so that we could bring up the winners and announce that tomorrow. Cheryl sends $5 and says, sorry for my lateness. I had a family issue. No, it's quite all right, my dear. We love you. Take care of what you need to take care of. Take care of what you need to take care of, my dear. Nina sends $2 and says, he's the woman he's describing. Oh, wait. Is that the same Nina who was just up a second ago? All right. Thank you. Thank you. I guess this was before we brought the studio audience out. Absolutely. Angelica sends $2 and says, he isn't a committed man. No, he really isn't. Well, he's committed. All right. He's committed to the ghetto fabulous lifestyle. That's what he's committed to. Ashley sends $1 and says, this man must be high, thinking he's high value. Oh, he's high. Okay. That's exactly right. That is so funny. Talk about he's high value. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Then we have Latrina, who sends $15 and says, keep attending up for us. Thank you. Keep Atidinf up for us. Thank you. Atadinf. I think that's I can't figure out what that misspelling means, but okay. Well, thank you. Upgrading. Maybe she means upgrading. Thank you. We appreciate it. Thank you. All right. And then we have Edwige, who sends $5 and says, this is a mess. I'll protect my womb by any means. Oh, by the time she pulled out that gun, she was already pregnant. So Lisa sends $2 for support. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you. And we have, let's see how many more we have. Okay, we have only just a few more. We have Keisha that sends $6 and says, sending love, text notification squad. Hey, I love you all so much. Thank you. Thank you. And then we have Angelica. He sends $1 and says, such an attention seeker. Child, you think he's just seeking attention? That's interesting. Denise sends $2 and says, I feel sick to my stomach. He's not the only one. You know, what is it that's making you feel sick to your stomach? He's not the only one that feels this way about women and what they have to bring to the table. And this is crazy. You know what? She sent another one and said, he's not the only man out there. It's a cesspool. Oh, God. Dating is a cesspool out there now? You know what? We're going to have to get the matchmaking service up and running. Cheryl sends $5 and says, he is a child in a man's body. He's something. I don't know what is going on here, honestly. And Lisa Roxanne sends $10 and says, wait till I'm called on. Heart. Uh-oh. Wait, Lisa. All right, my girl. I guess we shall wait and see. My goodness gracious. All right, let's get back to this boondoggle here. Let's continue forward. My gracious.
Both is trying to mirror. So
hold on. Let's go back. Let's rewind so we can go back.
Right. So a woman just comes in and does what?
She makes your life better if you're lucky. You'll be lucky to get
right.
Because what you should know, if anything, from the track record of the women you just told us about, you should pray to God you get a great woman. Because you just described 2 women that you dealt with that kind of making your life hell. You got one with a baby with that you wasn't with. You got one you got to sue. So you should appreciate a good woman more than any man watching right now.
And they both was trying to mirror. So that's, like I said, that's not an issue. I'm not
talking about marriage. I'm talking about a woman of substance, a woman that you can know that wouldn't bring that type of drama. Type of woman that if she found out you was pregnant would just leave and not steal. Because a lot of women would be like, oh, you have a baby on the way? Have a nice life. And then walk away. Doesn't steal anything. Doesn't cuss you out. You're not in courtroom. If you get a woman like that, you would be lucky. And what I'm saying is the type of woman that you have described, the way you described them, they wasn't worthy. So you should really appreciate if you get blessed with a worthy woman that would take on your bullshit. Because you come in with a lot of shit, whether you know it or not.
That's it. I want to come in. We all come in with something. So let's not, like all these people, kind of just judge one before somebody else. So the thing is, I'm a traditional man. I believe in traditional roles. Most women, especially black women, want a traditional man, then they want to be a modern woman. Those two things cannot coexist. Okay.
What is he talking about?
You're shaking your head, but you know it's true.
No, this is what I'm saying. Like, I feel like what makes me sad, I'm gonna be honest, because I know you must, if you came on my show after Kevin Samuels, you watch Kevin Samuels. I'm not gonna spend too much time on that. But I really feel like he is brainwashing so many men that can be great men, and you're gonna miss out. You keep following that road if you want to, but you're gonna miss out on a good woman. Because hold on, you could have married those 2 women, but those women, the way you described, they ain't worthy of talking about. The kind of woman you would like to marry may not want to marry you.
Why do you think I left? Then the second one, I was leaving, and that's when everything unraveled.
Right, but you gotta hear what I'm saying. There's plenty of quality women that would just simply say, they're not gonna steal shit from you. They're gonna be like, oh, you had a baby on the way? You didn't tell me that? Have a nice life. And that's the type of woman you should pray for.
That would have been the womanly thing to do. Plus, it's more story.
After like that, not attracted that kind of woman.
You got the short story. It's about to be a movie made up on this situation, so I'm not going to go too much deep into it. So,
I guess what I'm saying is this: yes, everybody comes from shit, but it really is starting to aggravate me that men are, counting women out for the flaws that they have themselves. If a woman has a child and you have a child, it makes no sense to me how you would not be willing to date her. And then also, hold on, there's plenty of women who might not be like my mother and my father weren't together, but my father was a provider. When my mother dated, never had to worry about me financially in any way. So I don't understand that. Like the the child could have a daddy that's taking care of him, so you don't got to worry about him being your quote unquote bill. As you,
I've done this stepdad. Okay, took care of 2 kids. There's no trophy in it. Now you got to deal with their mouth. You got to deal with, you know, a man walking into their life when they grown and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? I've been in a situation, so I'm speaking on facts. Other people, they speaking about what looks great on the wall. Okay, I'm speaking about going through a situation. All right, so you know, y'all could keep the fucking comments because I don't really give a fuck.
Wow.
But the other thing, like I was saying, it has nothing to do about being provided. Blended families are a hard situation. They add on the pile to your own shit. Because the thing is, in a traditional relationship, the man is the head, right? So if your son gets disrespectful at 15, 16, and I can't discipline, will you allow your man to discipline your kid? You can pay for him, but can he discipline? Most women will say,
listen, you know what? Here's the deal. If you don't want to date a woman with children, fine.
I said she got to be a hell of a woman.
So what is a hell of a woman? What is hell of a woman?
Okay, so if you barely making it, then you say, oh, I got 2 kids, 3 kids, my 3 different baby dads. It's kind of like a strike off. It's like a point off.
You got 2 different baby mamas?
Who said I got 2?
Are they both by the same woman?
No, but y'all put the stories together.
Because you told me that the 10-year-old...
You see the game he plays?
And you got a 2-year-old. So you acting like your resume... Basically, everything you're saying, you have that resume. Like if the woman you're describing would be you if you were a woman.
It's a double standard, though.
It's really not a double standard because what I'm trying to say is to this: as a woman that has no children, right? She can walk in saying, "Okay, you got 2 baby mamas. I ain't trying to be your 3rd baby mama. Why would I want to do that? Like, no, you got 1 woman you suing. You got a 2-year-old." Why would I, as a quality woman that fits your description, has the looks that you desire, friendly, nice, want to put up with your ass? Like, why would she sign up for that?
Why would she sign up for it?
Yeah, the guy with no kids. Or what?
After she know me and get to deal with me, she already signed up for it.
So how you know that the woman that you judging, you can't be the same way? Why can't you give her that grace?
Life outside of her does not affect her.
It does affect her because she decides to be the woman of your life. She's gonna accept your children, which means she got to deal with 2 different baby mamas. You already. I know. I have friends who are married to men that had children, and no matter what you say, there is always that dynamic of the mother. You just can't say anything to that child because the mother is at play. So I have to now decide that I'm gonna deal with you. And you already told me 1 baby mama, you would kill her, so that's drama right there. I know she ain't gonna bring drama into my life. That's what a woman has to agree with to sign up to you. So all I'm just trying to get you to say is what you judging, you are. You are the person you're judging.
Oh, the 4 kids on my page are nieces. Thank you. You see how women, y'all so quick to jump to conclusions and judge somebody. But when we start dealing, rattling in your closet, you got worse shit.
Well, listen, all I'm saying is everybody got shit. Everybody got shit. I'm not
only women in the comment.
Sorry, I'm tired. This man is exhausting me. Kendra, girl, you are a better woman than me because I could not do it. I couldn't do this. I couldn't do it. You are a better woman than me because this is foolishness. This guy is just going round and round in circles. I'm tired of him. I need a break. And the crazy part about it is, see, because like a woman like me, I wouldn't deal with him. I'd start talking to him, ask him those questions like the ones in the game that I'm creating. And this is more fire underneath my buns to be able to get the game finished, completed, and manufactured sooner. Because we need to weed out people like, God, I'm exhausted. I feel I don't know. I don't know if you all go through this too. That sometimes you just feel so tired, you get thirsty. Let me let me bring the studio audience back up. Studio audience, get ready. I'm bringing you back up. This mess. I'm sorry. It's just a lot. Oh my God. It's just so much. Studio audience, I'm going to bring you all on the screen. Make sure everybody is waving. Come on and wave, studio audience. Come on. Welcome back up. Listen, ladies, go ahead, wave some more. We're on page 2. All right, let's head to page 3. See who's on page 3. Oh, no cameras on page 3? Mm-hmm. All right, okay. Listen, I see we got some hands up over here. Sherry, come forward, my dear. Save me. Unmute yourself, Sherry. Oh no, it looks like Lisa Roxanne is before you. I'm sorry. Lisa Roxanne, come forward, please.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Oh, I'm so sorry. You don't have your camera on. I'm sorry.
Okay. Oh, wait. Wait, there. I can't even see. So
hold on. Let's get this. Do you need a few more moments to get it together? You can test out your camera and all that other stuff. All right. We'll go to the next person and then we'll come back to you. All right, Sherry, please come forward.
Oh my God, Tanya, thank you for having me on. Like I put in the text, he's describing himself like the other sisters said on the call. But I think what's more important, as women, we need to pay attention to what men tell us, because men are going to tell you. They're going to tell you what they're going to tell you. But I mean, look at what he's saying. He's saying, like you said, you pointed out he's a drinker. Then 2, he's talked about the police. That means he's an abuser. 3, he has no self-respect for himself or another woman, because he's talking about, well, yeah, I got her pregnant. I just wanted to hit it, one last time. Okay, no. Then the women that he deal with are very immature. And then lastly, he is a self-seeker. He's looking for gratification for himself. He don't care about the other person he's laying with. However, there's going to be some person, some woman listening to the video once it goes, after live, and be like, oh my God, but he's so honest. Look at him. He's being honest, and you other women are putting him down. No, boo-boo kitty. He's telling you who he is. And if we don't start paying attention to what men are telling us, we're going to end up like those other 2 young chicks that he was messing with, pulling the gun out on them, cussing them out. But as soon as he said, baby, let it get between the thighs, they're going to be like, oh, come and get it, boo. Come and get it. But it's like he has no standards for himself. He has no standards for the women that he meets. And he's talking about, like, he just tried to say he didn't have 2 kids. And I was like, okay, which one? You have 2 kids, you don't have 2 kids. Because I know I heard you have a boy and you have a girl. So it's like, and he's also telling you just by doing that on live, he is a liar. So he's giving you his portfolio.
Wait, where was he saying that he's a liar? Hold on, which lie did we catch him in?
The one he talked about, he said, well, she said, well, you got 2 kids. He said, whoa, who said I got 2 kids? He said, you said you had 2 kids.
2 baby mamas. 2 baby mamas.
Oh, 2 baby mamas, yeah. So I'm just like, he's in his own fantasy world in his own head.
Got you.
There's going to be a woman out there who's going to say that he is being honest and we should accept his honesty. No, boo-boo. He's telling you about himself and what his standards are, which are 0.
Yeah, but you know what the thing is? I get a feeling from him, because, there's a certain number of men out there who just want to make excuses. And he seems like the type of man that just wants to be able to be like, oh, look how dirty they doing me. Look how dirty these women do me, et cetera, et cetera. And so, yeah. Thank you. Go ahead and put yourself back on mute. We're going to bring Lisa Roxanne up. Come forward, Lisa Roxanne.
Hi, everybody. This kind of hit me because I started my marriage with a slightly unique blended family. I was in an arranged pregnancy with somebody I wasn't involved with. He came into the relationship with a child, and through the 11 years that we were together, the burden wasn't on him. The burden was still more financially on me. And I'm actually a family law attorney. that represents mostly men who I find usually when it comes to any kind of blended situation, their child support is typically a financial burden on the woman they're involved with, not to mention whatever stepmommy duties she's picking up. I don't necessarily, I can't say that it's even 50%, certainly not majority of the case, where a man has got to take on some burden of some other woman's children. Like, I don't see that. I don't see that professionally. I don't see that personally. I've got friends with 3 and 4 kids, and it's never the guy that they're with now that's picking up that burden. So I'm just wondering, it's bizarre where I've not, this kind of, whether it's Kevin Kittenhill, Samuels, or wherever these men that I'm hearing on social media, where they're getting these ideas from, because I'm out here in these streets, in my own life, in the courtrooms, and like, I don't know where these guys are getting this stuff from. They're not picking up these burdens. That's not what's going on in terms of women with children who are even single mothers have been holding down their children, and sometimes the children of others, or at least holding down the men who are paying child support, who are sometimes almost broke because of child support, regardless. And that's what I've experienced and seen most of the time.
Oh, wow. How interesting. How interesting. So you basically are saying that most of the men that you deal with in family court, that the child support that they're paying is a burden on the women that they're currently dating. So, but you said that in the reverse is not true, that the men who are dating women who have children, that the children are not a financial burden on the man. Where are you getting that information? I think you're back on mute, my dear. You have to unmute yourself. You're still muted. We're having some technical difficulties with your thing. Let me find you in the audience so that I can send you a message to unmute, or the notification to unmute. Give me 1 second. I just have to, let me go to the gallery view and let me find you. There you go. Okay, go ahead. Unmute.
I'm getting that from, besides a lot of these men who are also my clients are also in new relationships with women that have other children. I'm also seeing that in friends that I have, whether they're women or men, where in that relationship, it's not that the man is getting burdened. And in fact, what I'm seeing a lot of times is that these women are typically they've been holding down their children either with the assistance of child support or not. A lot of times not, for quite a bit of time before they blend this family, before they bond.
Got you.
And so there's not like, oh, now I've got to start paying for these children. Yes, my ex did contribute to my daughter's care and whatnot for the first 2 years, but not in any excess. I was contributing to his son, and for most of the relationship, I was paying most of the bills.
Oh.
So when we had 2 more children, so and he can't even afford to pay child support right now for whatever reason, and so I don't see this thing where the average guy with the average income is pouring money into the woman that he's with who's got these kids, because she has typically been used to taking care of them with either whatever she's getting in child support or no child support at all.
Oh, got you. That's interesting. Interesting. Thank you so much. You could go ahead and put yourself back on mute. I'm going to read some of the apples that have come in. But that's definitely interesting. So the next person that we're going to have up from the studio audience is going to be Sabina. So Sabina, get ready. Okay, I'm going to let you unmute, but we're going to read the apples first. All right. So, hey, Marie sends $50 and says, for book donations. Okay. So we're going to have 2 books to give away this week. But I need to figure out what's going to be the criteria for the book giveaway. So we got 2 books to give away for the week of 5/26 to let's see, what is next Wednesday's date? Give me 1 second. Oh, June 1st already. Oh, 5/26 to 6/1. I can't believe half of the year is already done. All right. So we got 2 books to give away for that time period. So what are we going to, you know what? We'll pick the topic tomorrow. So what we'll do is we'll give away the books on the Wednesday, and then we'll pick the next topic to then give it away on the next Wednesday. So thank you so much for that, Maurice. We appreciate that. And then we have Kyra, who sends $5 and says, I'm 23 and dude like him come at me all the time. Oh my Lord. You know what? I believe it. Because you know what? It's like they destroy their lives and then they want to scour and start destroying the lives of young women. This is unbelievable. Jade sends $3 and says, these are the types of males Cat Daddy is creating. Cat Daddy, the twinkle toes, little kitten heels, Grandpa Kitty. Yes, absolutely. I feel you. Kyra sends $2 and says, wouldn't waste my time or my womb. I'm saying, like, he's in active shootouts with pregnant women. I mean, come on. This doesn't make any sense. Lawrence sends $5 and says, can we call in? Are we going to accept phone calls? Well. I don't know about that. Tony sends $3 and says, for the men who are going broke with child support. I feel like we missed something. Tony sends $2 and says, get a better job, as men say, choose better. I know that's right. I guess she's talking about the men who are going broke with child support. Child, listen. All right. We heard you laughing over there in the background. Girl.
Oh, me?
Yes.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Sabina. Talk to us. So
Tanya, first of all, thank you so much for doing what you do. Thank you for the strength that you have progressed yourself, with, and where you came from. This is very helpful. I appreciate it. I know there are lots of other women that appreciate it. There's a lot that it goes on in our lives. Like you mentioned when you said that this is gaslighting. That is exactly what he does. And a lot of people do that. I think the reason why he's not into older women is because maybe older women know better. Like, we know too much. We've experienced things. So attacking or going after the new babies in the pond, maybe they have not had an experience. I bet you he does not approach a woman the way in which he had this interview. Because if he's brutally honest, nobody on earth would ever think that he's somebody worth dating. So him saying, do you want the truth, or do you want to be lied to? He is a liar. I have experienced somebody like that. Was with my children's father, and part of abuse is not just the physical aspect of it. Like, the mental abuse is, I think, the most dangerous aspect of it, because sometimes we don't realize that this is abuse, and it grows gradually and it's slowly, and before you know it, you're deep into it without even believing that you could be in such a situation, which I myself have gone through that. I know that he kept saying things about himself, as Nina mentioned, that the light skinness and the curly hair look, and as he kept going on, those things kept falling off. He no longer looked attractive. I don't know how honest this is. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong,
But I have seen the movie The Roots where it's like, okay, so back in the slave days, they would keep the light-skinned people in the house and keep the very dark ones out in the fields. And the more you looked, the lighter, the better of an appeal you were. So for him, yes, I did see the same thing where he had the jacket, the suit, and I was thinking, this very professional guy, but as he kept speaking, then you realize the true, I don't care how much makeup or polish or clothes you think one can put on, but the inside truth is your true beauty or your true ugliness. And for how he was speaking about women, for example, tells me everything. Like, I'm the man, right? So the woman comes in and what does she bring? That in itself tells me how he values women. And that sentence alone could have just been it for him to say out of his mouth. And he didn't have to go on about this. But also, in my past, listening to how somebody speaks about their ex, the kind of vigor or venom or disrespect or it just tells what kind of person they themselves are.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. Go ahead and put yourself back on mute. All right, we're going to take a quick 60-second commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to listen to some more of this man's video. I'm stunned by all of this personally. And what's going on? Oh, I didn't change my screen. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. I'm bugging. All right, there we go. Let me get this into queued up. And we have the video coming right now. So go run to the ladies' room if you need to. Go grab a drink of water, stretch your legs. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
Are you tired of missing Tanya TKO's live videos? Arriving late when the video is well underway or about to end? Are you fatigued of only seeing a live video randomly while perusing YouTube and Facebook? Or worse, randomly unsubscribed? Well, now you can get a text notification whenever I go live. No longer are we dependent on the algorithm of these fickle platforms. For just $1.99 a month US and Canada or $4.99 a month international, you get a personalized text message 15 minutes before each live show. Now you can show up early with the Tech Squad, meet other people from all over the world, and get invited to secret broadcasts off platform. Most importantly, support your favorite independent creator. Go to TanyaTKO.com and click on text. Join the TKO Tech Squad today. For just $1.99 a month US and Canada, or $22 a year if you pay in advance, $4.99 a month international, $50 a year if you pay in advance, you'll never again be tardy to the party. I'll see you on the next broadcast. TanyaTKO.com/text.
Hey, I love that. That is my favorite commercial ever. All right. So welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. So we're going to jump back to this man's video, and then we're going to come back to the studio audience and get some more of your comments. This has just been a lot, honestly. This has been a lot for me. This guy exhausts me. This broadcast is exhausting. Let's continue going forward.
It's just the fact that
things. The men are saying facts, stuff like that. It's only women in the comments, but it's all single women.
First of all, how do you know who's single in the comments or not? And you see, he's so disrespectful. He wants to try to denigrate and downgrade people based on, look at Kendra's face, based on this arbitrary set of, and what's the matter with being single? If there were people who were single, everybody's not worth putting up with like you. Let's rewind back a little bit because I forgot where some of the last things he was saying before we decided to cut. Let's go.
I know she ain't gonna bring drama into my life. That's what a woman has to agree with to sign up to you. So all I'm just trying to get you to say is what you judging, you are. You are the person you're judging.
Oh, the 4 kids on my page are nieces. Thank you. You see how women, y'all so quick to jump to conclusions and judge somebody. But when we start dealing, rattling in your closet, you got worse shit.
Well, listen, I would say this: everybody got shit. Everybody got shit. I'm not.
Only women in the comments.
It's just the fact that
things. The men are saying facts, stuff like that. It's only women in the comments, but it's all single women.
But you're a single man, so okay, they single, you single too.
Wait, I could be married with this.
You can be married. If you could, listen, you could be married, but not to the woman you want to be married to. Because if you could be married to the woman you want to be married to, you would be married. Like there's no.
I'm sorry, this N-word is so exhausting. I'm sorry, this is just horrifying. Let's unpack. Let's unpack real quick. I mean, you know what? We could do a thesis on this entire broadcast, sentence by sentence, the pathology that exists here. So, yes, nigga, the women in the comments are going to be single. Why? Because you're on a single dating show. So they came there to find an eligible man. They're criticizing you because they are listening to the effery that you're speaking and they realize that you are ineligible. He is wanting to find a woman. What are you looking for? A married woman? And then he said, I could have been married and divorced. Let's rewind that because he was his audio kind of got cut off because Instagram is fugazi. But listen.
Listen, you can be married, but not to the woman you want to be married to.
Listen. You hear him. Listen.
Things. The men are saying facts, stuff like that. It's only women in the comments, but it's all single women.
So, excuse me. So let's unpack this. Let's unpack this. One, you don't know the marital status of the people in the comments who are commenting. You don't even know the gender of the people who are commenting. If there are men that are on the broadcast, those men came to see you because I guess there's something about you that other men find appealing and on a dating show, and they may know some other stuff that's going on behind the scenes and they're coming for their man. That, or you're making this up. How do you know who's male or female in the comments? How do you know what their marital status is or isn't? Not only that, you're a man on a dating show wanting to meet a single woman, but then criticizing women for being single. Meanwhile, you're single and you feel that anybody who is saying something that you don't agree with happens to be a single woman. Well, that's your targeted audience, isn't it? If the single women are providing feedback for you, son, they're letting you know they don't like what it is that you're presenting, dear. You realize that, right? You are a single man looking for a woman. Single women are your targeted audience. They're telling you them to like what them I see. That means you're obviously you're not a good candidate for them. Let's continue going forward. It's unbelievable.
But you're a single man. So okay, they single, you single too.
Wait, I could be married with this.
You can be married. If you could, listen, you could be married, but not to the woman you want to be married to. Because if you could be married to the woman you want to be married to, you would be married. Like, there's no reason if you wanted to be married, you can be married. Then go get married.
I didn't say I wanted to be married. When you asked me, I said I have no problem with it.
You hear the effery now? Do we need to rewind back to? It's like I wish I'd seen this before because I don't know which number. Where in the video, which number scrub did he say when she asked him whether or not he wanted to be married? Oh gosh.
Yeah, married was the way I think or live.
You would be married. Like, there's no reason if you wanted to be married, you could be married. Then go get married.
I didn't say I wanted to be married. When you asked me, I said I have no problem.
Which minute and second did she ask him? Lord, please. So we are at 18 minutes in right now, 18:59. If I just scrub one place, can we just find it, please, where she asked him, do you want to be married?
Cross a certain threshold. Yeah, we never crossed that.
Well, you dated for 3 months. You don't think at least I want
I'm just sweating with all these questions.
Say again?
I feel like I say you got me over there sweating with all these questions. I feel like I'm on trap.
Well, I mean, because listen, I'm not going to take away from what the women did, but they're two significant things. One, pregnant that you wasn't.
So
Hold on. I think this is where she asked him.
Well, we and her dated for 3 years, so only 2 women.
And I think
I want to find it.
That's only 2 women. If somebody steals $8,000 worth of stuff.
When did she ask him?
I told you I end up in jail or
when did she ask him if he wanted to be married?
Trial, and you don't show up to trial. Be great. What? Great on food stamps? And go.
Okay, but real quick, you didn't think if you were dating a girl, she needed to know you had a baby on the way? Because that could be tricky because how does she know you didn't get the girl pregnant while y'all were together, dating someone? That's worthy information to say, oh, by the way, I have a baby.
Yeah, we never crossed that.
Well, you dated for 3 months. You don't think at least I want to say yes?
Feel like so you got me over there sweating with all these.
From what the women did, but
there's only 2 women.
That's what the.
And her dated for 3 years, so all my relationships have been years. Okay, so.
Please, is this where she asked him?
Multiple years.
Please, is this?
I'm gonna stop grilling you. Maybe there's a female who wants to get to know you better. Do you have the age range that you want to date?
It's legal.
As long as.
Yeah.
And what are your requirements again? Oh, you just said you really didn't have any requirements.
I did, as long as she's honest and loyal.
When does she?
Really didn't have any requirements.
When does she ask?
If she meets the requirements, yeah.
Hold on.
It's fine with you.
If she meets the.
I
ain't saying she can't have it.
You have 2 kids that she would be a stepmom.
I'm not gonna be able to find it.
That could be tricky because how does she know you didn't get the girl pregnant while y'all were together?
But the case don't get on you.
Big red flags, don't you think?
And exciting.
Fun and exciting.
This is what it is. Either you, it's 2 + 2, which equals 4. You're gonna take it or accept it, or you.
You know what? We're not going to be able to find it. Let's just get back to the. You know what we do when we watch. So if you are, I wish we could send a message to the people of the past and tell them, write in the comments the minute and second when she asked him whether or not he wanted to get married, and let's go back and review what his answer was. Because goodness, if there's somebody in the comments who knows, please put the minute and second. Oh, but that would be the minute and second of my video, not hers. Yeah, it's all right. We're going to go back to where we were in the video. We were at 1859. Here we go. Oh, this is so much.
I said I have no problem with being married for the way I think or live. Most women don't agree with it because they never met a man who tells them how they really feel. That's why Kevin Samuels blew up the way he did, which we ain't gonna go into it because that's how most men think, right? So you're used to men telling you what you want because they want to have sex with you.
That's not that is not my. Okay, so I don't. Hold on. Hold on, real quick. Let me just jump in. To me, yes, Kevin Samuels makes some good points at times, but to me, he's doing more harm than good. I don't want to end this exchange with bashing you. That's not really my goal of my show. I really want people to platform and find love. But what I will say is this: you will continue to attract the woman that you're not going to respect to want to marry unless you change your ways a little bit. Now, I'm not saying you got to change drastically. You attract to men. You're always going to get women. I'm not worried about that.
Look his face. Why? Oh my gosh, why? Look his face, like when she's talking. So he's mentioning Kevin Samuels and the toxicity, and he's talking about this is how the vast majority of men think, and this is why more men need to be single. This is why more women need to stop accepting this fuckery from men. Any man who thinks the way that this person here thinks and posits the way that Kevin Samuels is verbally abusive. He's psychologically abusive. He's verbally abusive. And it's like it's like, ladies, you got to stop. You have to stop allowing these men to you got to stop. Ladies, we have got to stop this. We are codifying these men, adding wind beneath their wings. And, Cynthia G talks about the Black male worshiping culture that we live in. And we need to stop this. This man should not think that he is a prize, because he is not. And the men in our community who have this mode of thinking at their 34 wanting to date a person in high school, he said he would, anyone who's legal. So we're talking about an 18-year-old. And it's like he has no true, real, he has no true, real discernment. He's continuing to make the same mistakes over and over and blaming women for his mistakes, and then lashing out at women. Oh, they're single, they're this, they're that. This is that the men are telling the truth, and men lie to you to get into your pants. No, liars lie to get what it is that they want. Users lie to get what it is that they want. Manipulators can lie to get what it is that they want. That doesn't make a person a good candidate for a relationship. I want to get the hell off of this video. I'm tired. You know what? Let's jump to the studio audience real quick. Because this is disheartening to me. This is disheartening. Oh my Lord. Okay, so who do we have next up? We have the classic. Come forward, the classic.
Hi, Tanya. It is so good to finally meet you. I do have to thank you for helping me acknowledge that self-love is what I was lacking. I thank your book for helping me get through my beginning.
Thank you.
My comment for this video is like, what do we even say when we get in these conversations with these kind of men? Like recently, me and my sister went to a little house party locally just to enjoy ourselves, and like we got to talking to a man in his 30s. Me and my sister are in our late 20s, and the first thing that I felt like I needed to say was just like, real women respect themselves. You don't get nothing on the first night. Men always expect women to get stuff on the first night. And then he wanted to be like, oh, but if we don't have intercourse, how are we supposed to know if we're compatible? And he got offended when we were talking about women respecting themselves and not letting any kind of man in. And he felt completely defensive. How do you even get around this circle talk? You just up and leave, you just walk away. But when my sister even tried to do that, he started crying and being like, what's wrong with me? Like, what do we do with these kind of guys that come around us? How do we even get them to get away from us?
Let me see the meanest face that you can make. That looks curious.
I don't know. I never had that kind of problem.
Let me see your mean face.
My mean face? I don't know. I guess.
That looked like you inquiring about something. What's the price of this tomato? Let's see. Somebody just rolled over your foot with their cart, and you got a bunion face. Let's see that. Oh my God. Okay. All right. Yeah, that frightened me a little bit. Okay. You just have to, honestly, there's a few different things that we're talking about right now. How do you get out of a conversation with somebody who you don't want to have a conversation with? It depends. Do you feel safe enough to be honest and just continue to move on? If you don't feel safe, you said it was in your house party, so you invited people that you know. Sometimes you can just look at a person blankly. You can start looking at your phone. You can walk away. You can put your phone up to your ear and be like, you where? All right. And then you could just go about your business. That's one thing. You can tell the truth if you feel safe enough and be like, this, I just don't resonate with this conversation. There's somebody else out there for you, and I wish you the best. Not every man can handle the truth, so you just have to be very cognizant of your surroundings and who it is that you're talking with, And then the other thing, equating having intercourse with a lack of self-respect. I think that we have got to stop living by men's standards of, because listen, men are not the blueprint. We've been guided by men for far too long, and equating having intercourse when you choose to have intercourse with a lack of respect for self, there's a false equivalence. One has nothing to do with the other. What is respectful, person's self-respect, is a person knowing what it is that they want to do and doing what it is that they choose to do with their body, respecting their bodies in the ways that is right for her, and not some predictated set of rules that were created by religion or society or your parents or some man or some TV shows or whatnot. But being connected with yourself in such a way that you respect and honor what it is that you want. And there will be times that you feel comfortable enough to live your life as you choose, have intercourse with whom you choose, when you choose, how you choose. And that is really a decision that exists between the two consenting adults. And we are not a part of that equation. There is no fast and hard rule that exists across the board for what respecting self looks like, because there are a plethora, any number of women out there who are living their life in one way or another based on somebody else's rule. It doesn't, and we have these thoughts that this means that because somebody else told me that this means that. And it's really like there are women out there who are abstinent against their will. And they feel that they're living their life, and that is self-respect. But are you really truly honoring yourself? You're abstinent. You're not connecting in certain ways with people, and you're living your life with this monkey on your back that is other people's judgments and other people's assessments, so that now you are being puppeteered by somebody else's desires, and you're not living. Are you really truly respecting yourself if you are not doing what it is that you want to do? That's the question. If you want, listen, every man out there ain't husband material. And if you feel comfortable enough with the level of prophylactics that you have, and you know that this is a thing that you want when it is that you want it, who is anybody else outside of the two consenting adults to speak on that? It's like we continue to act like a woman we continue to posit that a woman is a prize, right? But yet we only allow her to be a quote unquote prize as it relates to what it is that men are willing to consider prizeful. Do you understand what it is that I'm saying? So a woman is able to be in contact with her sexuality as long as it benefits and pleases a man. But if you are taking control and ownership of your sexuality and you want to sing about your WAP or whatnot, so if Snoop Dogg is singing about some HOEs being face down, buttocks up, that's fine as long as the woman is being degraded for the man's pleasure. If a man is saying that a woman should be celibate, then that's fine because she's celibate for the man's pleasure and only opening it up for him. So those are two parts of different conversations. So how do you get away from a person that you don't want to speak to? You just walk away from the conversation. You move away, you turn away. You can be honest with them and tell them you're just not feeling it. It's just not for you. That means it's really up to you. Or you can do that. Someone just rolled over my foot with their cart face that you showed me, and they'll back up. They'll back up. So thank you so much for your comment.
Thank you, Tanya.
All right. You could go ahead and put yourself back on mute. All right. I'm going to jump over and read some of the comments that we have over here on YouTube, Facebook. Hey, we got Dipped in the house. Thank you so much for coming out, you all. Nicholas says, this is getting very broad. Just walk away. That'll work too. But walking through, there's so many men who are like, if I was a woman, I would this and I would that. I'd be the biggest whore and all this, that, and the other. And it's like, having two sacks or one sack jangling between your legs is a very different experience than being a woman. Being a woman comes with the hormones, the social programming, the mental knowing that you are keeper of the womb. These are all things that come along with being a woman, right? And so she's asking me from woman to woman, how do you walk away? Because you, coming from the perspective of a person who is 33% larger, 33% stronger, taller, bigger, larger, with testosterone and societally programmed as a man, it's different. Girls are programmed to be nice and pleasing and not upset people and be good girls and pliable and go along. This is what girls are socialized into doing. And also, turning men down can become a violent situation in which you are harmed, hurt, struck, shot, beat, or even lose your life over just not wanting to speak to a person. So please, if you see a woman asking another woman a question, please stand down. You know, go rub your beard somewhere or brush your beard or something and let the woman answer. It's not for you, sir. It's not for you, sir. Please. Please. Dip says our programming is completely different. Exactly. Go ahead and thumbs up the video. I see that people that you need to get these thumbs up. Go ahead, make sure that you tag people if you want them to see this video. And let's continue going forward. Let's see. I've always lived the way I wanted, being for me, caring about everyone's judgment can hurt you. Exactly. All right, we're going to jump back over to, should we look at the video again? Yeah, let's look at the video, then we'll jump back to the studio audience. Just, so frustrating and tiring. And then we'll check the apples after that.
You will continue to attract the woman that you're not going to respect to want to marry unless you change your ways a little bit. Now, I'm not saying you got to change drastically. You attract to men. You're always going to get women. I'm not worried about that. But the type of woman that you want to attract and you want to marry, I don't think you're going to attract her unless you do some soul searching and really change your ways. I think you think you are a prize. We all come with shit. What a good woman has to do with what you come with, she will be accepting a lot, whether you know it or not.
Now let's reverse that. If I was a woman that came on here, y'all be like, "Oh, you a prize, baby." Ain't that what y'all tell women?
If she got mother effer shooting at her, you see, God, I can't. These people, man, this pussy one. Listen, this guy, this bottom wipe, Lord, he moist. The first, if I was a woman, bitch, you're not a woman. You're not a woman. No mother effer who comes up there talking about people are shooting at them is no damn prize. You're a liability. Goddamn, people can't stand near you because the bullets come a flying. You got a pregnant woman shooting at you. You got order of protection against you. Court cases opened against you. People stealing your jewelry. You got a baby that's 2 years old that was born of a relationship you claim was ending. Another one you claim was 3. You had the baby when you were dating another person. Now you claim was 2 years ago. You out here philandering. Your penis is here, there, and everywhere. Goodness knows what type of what is teeming in the system and lifestyle of this man. And then he comes out and says, if I was a woman, why do black men fantasize about being women? Nigga! God damn! Who is going to tell a person that people shooting at you is a prize? Well, cause stop it. It's like they want to be women so badly. Oh my God, if you listen, I got something for you. If you want to be a woman that badly, I will help you. I will help you. I will help you. I will get my strap for you and show you what it's like for you to be face down. You want to be a woman and get penetrated from behind? I will help you with that, son, since you are so desperate to want to have the female experience. You know what the female part of the plug is? The female part, and then there's the male part. The female part is the part that gets plugged into. Nigga, I can help you get plugged into. You want to be a woman so damn bad. God, it's so frustrating. This thing got me out of character today. Let's continue going forward.
The only reason we got onto this, Justin, is because of what you said about single moms. So that's what made the conversation grow.
That's what I prefer. If I prefer a woman, I didn't say I wouldn't date a woman with a child, but I said if I prefer a woman, how you go bash that? Just like prime example.
No, it was more. You can watch it later, but you said she has to be a hell of a woman. You said that she has. Oh God, you said that you have to take care of her children. Your kids won't be her issue. But if I'm a woman and I'm dating a guy who has custody of his child, I would have to decide if I want to be live a life with this man and then also be a stepmother to a child who I didn't give birth to. Why would I sign up to be baby mama number 3? You got 2 baby mamas. I'm a sin in line of third baby mama.
You wouldn't be a baby mama. I'm not having no baby mamas. The next one will have a ring on them. But like I said, it's more women accept men with children than men accept women with children. We could agree to that, right?
We could listen. Of course, we can agree to that. I'm talking about the type of woman that you want. That's all I'm saying. You'll never get an argument with me. You will always have.
I'm not arguing.
I think you will always have a woman. I'm talking about the one that you would meet that you would feel worthy enough to be your wife. That's what I'm talking about. What's your name, baby?
Josh.
Josh?
Oh, it just restarted. This was too much for me. I feel depleted. Where's my studio audience? I'm glad you all are on here today because I needed you all today. Oh, you're back on the camera. Let's see who else has their hand up. All right. So Joanna was waiting from before and she had to run to her meeting. Come forward, Joanna.
Hello, Miss Tanya. My comment is that to me, my household is a blended household for over 20-something years. And when my husband stepped in, like he was talking about abusing your kids and disciplining your kids, you have to have an adult relationship to be able to blend your family.
Mm-hmm.
That's just it from everybody. Also, with him, he's more of attention seeking.
Hold on. We lost the footage. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry. Oh, there we go. All right, go ahead.
I feel that he's attention seeking. Just by the way he sits back, he's a little cocky a little bit of a cockiness about him.
Mm-hmm.
Because somebody in his lifestyle told him he was cute. They lied.
They probably been telling him. You know, he's from the. Hold on, 80s. 80s babies are 39 now, right? So he's a 90s baby.
Right. So again, some young woman told him that he was cute and that she couldn't live without him. So he feels like he is a prize, like everyone was saying. He's really not. He can cause more damage to the kids, the women, and anybody else who he gets 10 feet in front of.
Okay.
So that's all I have.
So somebody told him he was cute. Child. Let's see what we have here. Next up, we have Angelica, right? Angelica, come forward. You got to unmute, baby.
There you go. Okay, yeah.
All right.
Just like they were just saying, I feel the same way. He's an attention seeker. He doesn't really understand what it's like to be a real family man, you know, and committed in a relationship the way a real man's supposed to be. Unfortunately, I don't think he may have not had a father when he was growing up.
Of course not.
To guide him how to be a man and to be responsible and so forth. So he's really lost. He's all over the place in his conversation.
Yeah, thank you. All right. So listen, I'm sorry. I'm depleted after listening to that whole thing. I'm depleted. So we have a bunch of people here on the studio audience. Come forward. Do you know how to raise your hand in here? Hey, Vane, did you have something that you wanted to say? Come forward. I asked you to unmute.
Yes, Tanya, I thank you for what you're doing. And I thank Kendra, is that her name, for having this, because I learned from you. I have to be straight up. You know me personally, and I deal with men that are similar. So I'm coming from a firsthand perspective and learning and growing along with this video. First thing I noticed was when she asked him what he could bring to the table, he did not say he would be a provider. So he doesn't have a strong sense of himself. And you know, a man doesn't feel like a real man unless he's got money and knows he can provide. So the second thing I noticed based on the men I deal with, it's all ego feeding. You know, they see as conquering a woman, any woman, every time they get something, that makes them feel like something, and they do whatever they can to get them. Now, I'm dealing with men who are of means and some celebrities. And so these are people who, girl, cut it out, you know. So these are people who can provide for multiple women in a great way. And that heightens the problem. Because, you know, you're being provided for, you're being treated real well, but there are other women and they are sometimes overlapping, sometimes multiple overlapping. But this guy clearly is all about what he can get, and that feeds his ego. Anybody who has a gun pulled on them and goes back to that, they're going back to say, I've conquered her still. She still wants me. It's the feeding of the ego. And coming on this show, I think he's pretty much, you know, presenting himself in the way that he presents himself, which women, like all the knockouts, can see straight through, because we're the type of people who ask multiple questions, you know, and we can see that. But he's going with the low-hanging fruit, women who are just going to come on board and get caught up in his toxicity. I'm dealing with one guy who actually, I asked him, what's your addiction? He said, women, sex, toxic relationships, because you can get that easy. It feeds his ego, and the toxicity of it is created by his interaction. And so, as honest as some of these men are with themselves, I don't feel this guy is honest with himself yet. I'm dealing with guys who own their shit and still play the game because they know they can, and everybody who gets involved knows it. And I'm grateful that, you know, I can jump in when I want and jump in when I don't. But I know it all stems back to something one of the knockouts mentioned, you know, the father. You know, how will his daughter react? Well, my dad was promiscuous. I came from promiscuous, married parents who were good providers, very loving people, pretty decent role models, except for with the promiscuity. And I grew up wanting to have, you know, the wonderful monogamous relationship. And, you know, from high school on, dealt with men who were like my daddy. So having done a lot of inner work in a later part of my life, I'm hoping that I see it and don't choose it. But now I'm starting to come around to understand whatever it is, if I'm attracted to it, I will be in it for what I choose to be in. I'm still looking forward to, you know, a long-term monogamous relationship. So what I've experienced with men like this, with their daughters, when they see their daughters, and my dad dealt with me this way, dealing with men of this nature, they come clean and they talk to their daughters. Well, the honest ones who know what game they're running. They talk to their daughters in terms of, look, this is game. I'm a man. I don't want this happening. And most recently, I know one of these guys who stepped in and was righteous for his daughter, being that gangster, giving her good advice. But then again, they don't want that. My dad didn't want that for me. They don't want it. But, you know, as the knockouts were saying, this perpetuates an ongoing, you know, what is it called? Malady in our culture. Just sharing personally, that's my take on it. And, you know, so I don't know. I always start with prayer because, you know, we have to fix things on a spiritual plane. I look forward to you having these books for men because he needs your book. He needs his self-love so he can come to terms with himself. Answering those questions in your book, once you go through all of that, he can probably show up more authentic and not consider himself a victim because he loves to blame all the women, which means he doesn't have a real strong sense of self. And he is definitely, he comes across as an alcoholic. I've never seen anybody need to sip so frequently, so much. Made me want to drink.
Something's going on with him. All right. Well, thank you for your contribution. I have a few questions. So you said you learned something during this broadcast. What did you learn?
That I personally need to ask another few questions and make a hard decision sooner.
You mean in a situation you're dealing with right now?
In all my situations, because I'm around it all. I'm getting hit on by. I'm in high demand right now, and these are high profile guys. It's a wonderful feeling, but it doesn't mean you just go for it. You ask the questions, and I'm listening to the knockouts say the questions to ask. I'm learning this. Our community is strengthening one another.
Thank you. And there were some other questions I had, but I should have written them down because I've lost. You're just looking so pretty. I'm like, wow, look at all of this beauty.
You're the beautiful one. I'm here with no makeup and bad lighting, girl, just trying to stay warm at work. But seriously, the things that you were saying throughout this just jarred me into knowing I've got to stand up a little stronger. I'm honest with myself. I go in, vulnerable. I don't have any preconceived notions. I know I'm the one in control. I have my power. And yet I could still see there are times when I'm making wrong choices. So I'm just looking forward to making better choices now.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you. It was a pleasure having you on. I find this guy to be very draining. I'm drained after listening to him for 20 minutes. I'm drained because, this exists out there. And the toxicness that's coming out of our community is saddening, and a lot of women who don't know better are going to fall prey to not only men like him, but men who, you see, because he has a feeling of entitlement that he's expressed. He feels entitled to, and he feels that there are more women that will want to date men who have children than there are more women that want to date men who have children than there are men who want to date women who have children. And I feel like as women, we really need to stand up because we're allowing these people to get away with too much for too long. It's getting ridiculous. All right. Well,
Kevin Samuels too much. That's just outside programming because everybody mixes it up. Men with children, women with children. From what I see and what I've seen all my life, everybody still gets together. Kevin Samuels is trying to taint the pot, but this guy loves coming on and getting women. He thinks he's it. You saw how he was dressed in the beginning, and then we saw who he was at the end. He comes with this beautiful, wonderful exterior, and then people see the interior. He doesn't love himself enough to be authentic from the beginning. And I'm grateful that most men I'm dealing with now are at least authentic from the beginning. Hey, this is my lifestyle. You jumping in or, whatever. And they're good men. They have great characters.
I mean, well, a person who tells the truth, but you saw that this guy played a lot of games, talking a lot of smack. What makes you think I have two baby mamas? Oh, the women in the comments are, they single women and all this stuff. It's just the toxicity in our community is just so much. It's like walking through a garbage dump and the smell and frowns, the putrid odor is all around you, coming from many different sources.
Wow, darling. Well, you're the one who's helping us heal through these viral videos, helping us build our relationships. I'm telling you, I always just hope these men come to you. You know, he got a little taste.
Oh, that's what I wanted to comment on. Okay.
Yeah. He unconsciously, he went to her thinking he's going to get a woman. He got his comeuppance. She told him he was full of shit. She told him he was the kind of person he was saying he didn't want.
Yeah.
You know, he about himself. He didn't know unconsciously he was going in to grow up. If he takes all of this, he can grow. And if he could come to you, he'd grow even more.
Yeah, and I'm glad that we spoke long enough for me to remember what it is, the part that I wanted to respond to. Yeah, you know, my videos are for people who want the videos. I don't make content for people who don't want it, who are going kicking and screaming, who are in denial about it. My videos are for people, my content are for people who have an idea that they want a change. What is it about that man's behavior and his talking points that gave you the idea that he wants a change? Uh-oh. We've lost your video. I think you got a call coming in or something.
One of my guys just called in. I gotta go. I gotta take this call.
What? Did she just jump off? Oh my goodness. All right. Well, talking about one of her guys. And I'm gonna keep my comment to myself. All right, Ashley, unmute yourself. Oh, unmute yourself. Sorry.
That's all right. Thank you. So I agree with what everybody's been saying, and I wanted to mention that I think he wants the younger ones. That's why he said, as long as they're legal, because he can mold them and shape them.
Mm-hmm.
To help stroke his ego more.
Yeah. The denial of it all is what's startling to me. All right. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Listen, everybody. I'm sorry. This really has exhausted me. I'm disgusted, honestly. I'm disgusted. I'm going to read a few more of the apples and I'm going to read some more of your comments. You see it all over my face. I don't think people like him. I don't think it's a joke. I don't think it's a game. This is why I dedicate my life to making videos and making content and creating product for people to be able to do the work that they can do on the inside. Listen, I have an MP3 on my website. It's called Forgive. And there are many of us out here who need to forgive our parents. We need to forgive ourselves. We need to forgive ex-partners. We just need to forgive. And so the MP3 is available on my website, and I'll probably have to create a commercial for that so that we can, I'm sorry. Here, let's read the apples that have come in. Edward sends $3 and says, I understand why she pulled a gun. I know that's right. I know that's right. Teresa sends $10 and says, donation for some stress tabs. Child, listen. This was an exhausting conversation. Angelica sends $1 and says, love your show. Thank you, Angelica. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So listen, everybody on the Zoom, I'm going to let you all come off of mute in a moment, but go ahead, studio audience. Let me see some waves from you all. All right. Hey, oops, I'm pressing the wrong button. Hold on. Sorry. On my finger. This is why I need 3 monitors. I'm sorry, you all. Here we go. And now I see you all again. Hey. All right. Okay. So listen, I'm going to let you all come off of mute and you can say whatever it is that you need to say. And then we're going to jump out of here. I'm not going to even, I can't even like the whole, you all can go ahead and unmute yourselves now.
Tanya?
Yes.
I have a question. So since we know that there are these kind of people all over the place it doesn't seem like we can heal the world off of them, like get them out of here. How do we, our younger girls, our younger women, I know teenage women, sometimes we think we know everything, so we don't listen. But how can we advise our younger ones, like I have 2 girls, to know or to see, or
You know what? It depends on your daughters. Different people learn in different ways. Some people learn from being told. Some people learn from having to experience. Some people learn from going towards positivity. Some people learn from moving away from quote unquote negativity. So you really just have to know, is it going to be your conversation? Is it going to be videos like this? Is it going to be a conversation from a male family member or a male person in the family? Is it going to be a conversation from an aunt, an uncle, an older cousin? You got to know your daughters, and you have to know which conversation in which way is going to be the one that they need to have. So you have to take it like that, and trial and error. Some people just listen and others have to experience. So thank you.
Thank you.
Miss Tanya.
Yes, ma'am.
But for the young lady who was just speaking, my thing is a lot of young ladies, which I can only speak for myself and the ladies in my family, we learn from seeing other family members. I learned from my mother what kind of man I wanted, and I learned from a lot of people the man I didn't want. So I think it's pretty much, you just have to make sure that the girls know that they're worth it, and you have to also be an example.
Thank you.
All right, Bajetta, your microphone is on. Did you want to say something? Because you keep coming up to the front.
Oh, I'm sorry, Tanya. This is a lot to dissect, because when it comes to men, I'm in my 50s, but
Are you? Wow, the black really don't crack.
I am. And growing up, I was in the 90s, I was in my 20s, so I fell prey to a lot of this that we're discussing today, and I had to deal with some hard truths. I dealt with a lot, and I learned to figure out what it is that I needed for me, what I wanted for me, what I was willing to tolerate, what I wasn't willing to tolerate, and was willing to walk away, because I refused to be mentally, to go through this, because it's draining.
Yeah, it really is.
That low, it's hard to come back from it.
Yeah.
And I was at that point at one time in my life, and I promised myself I was not going to go there ever again. I was not going to let anyone take me there ever again. I don't care if it's family. I don't care if it's friends. I definitely don't care if it's a man.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you have to have peace in your life. You have to have that sameness in your life. And if people are not going to be an asset to your life, if they're going to be a liability to your life and not an asset, they got to go.
Thank you. All right. Who's up next? Thank you.
I would totally like to say something.
Yeah, come forward.
Shanae here.
Hey, Shanae.
I'm thinking here, I wasn't going to say anything because I was going to say I'm going to be your resident conspiracy theorist, schizophrenic, because I have a bunch of theories. One, I have a theory that what we've been taught that men are supposed to protect and provide was my observation. I think that was a condition. How men are, how I'm seeing how they work, I don't think they actually think that. I think we were conditioned to think that the powers that be that have us scrambling around trying to find a man to protect and provide, but mentally and their pathology actually don't work that way. Sometimes it seems like they give us the opposite. When you was you said one of the comments on you don't understand men wanting to be women so bad. My theory is, for the most part, a lot of men are jealous of women, and our femininity, the way we are free for the most part with our spirit and our emotions, that we're allowed to dress up, we're allowed to use makeup. We can be we can play. We have dresses. I think a lot lot of men want to do the wig thing, the makeup thing, the wear the dresses. That's my theory. I'm not saying it's true, but my theory is I think a lot of men actually want to have the freedom that we have as women. And they are put into a pigeonhole that they have to protect and provide and work and work and work. When in actuality, they probably want to play as much as us as women are able to do.
Okay.
And that was one thing I was just thinking on. It doesn't have to be true, but the way I observe men, I don't think they're as protected and providing as people are putting on that men actually think. I think that they may think more or less of that. And maybe rebelling now on their sick of protecting, providing, not just Black women, but women in general. And they want to be protected. They want to be provided for. They want to play dress up and makeup. All the men that we see now coming out with becoming women and have sort of, I also observed sort of the, I guess, assassination of born women, I guess. We can't really call ourselves natural born women. There's a whole bunch of things now all of a sudden we can't do as women because men are being men. Anyway, that's me babbling. But yeah, that's my theory. That men actually are jealous and they want to be women.
Yeah, so let's go back to the very first thing, right? I think that there are. Angelica, can you put yourself on mute, my dear? You're coming up to the front. Okay. Shanae?
Yes.
All right. You still didn't come back up to the front. Say, keep talking so we can. Okay. All right. There you go. All right. So listen. So Shanae, first things first. There's something so special and magical about maleness. There's something really special about maleness. And men are natural protectors and they're natural providers. It's hardwired into their DNA. What we have is we have a society and descendants of men who passed through tremendous trauma and trafficking and subjugation and all of that. And they are befracted from their internal driving, right? That's one. So no. It's very true. Men are hardwired to protect. It's just ingrained in them. However, we have a lot of rabid, I don't want to call people dogs, but we have a lot of rabid men or men who are behaving rabidly, who are acting in opposite to their natural programming. And we have a society full of men who were abandoned by other men, who were abandoned by men, who were abandoned by men, who were subjugated by other men, submissive to other men, taken advantage of, et cetera, by other men, right? And so we're dealing with a situation with men who have a lot of mental illness, a lot of mental sickness, a lot of unhealed pathologies, a lot of ways of thinking that are just not healed. And they are confused, they're angry, they're hurt, they really don't know. There's a lot going on, and they're not investing the time in figuring out what's happening and what's going on. And so I don't be discouraged. Just be discerning. Just know, listen, I make these videos because I know that there are men out there who are amazing. I make these videos, like, people think I hate men, and it's actually them who hate men. The people who have given up on men and expect very little from men are the ones who actually have contempt. The opposite of love is not hate. The opposite of love is indifference. And there are a lot of people who feel indifferent and they're apathetic towards men, and they don't call men to task, and they want to call women to task for being the ones who are in control of these relationships. And see, the problem is this. The problem is that we have been taught to see men. It's like I grew up in an area very close to a precinct. And I remember when I was a little girl and I went to bilingual school and they had these little dolls, the puppets, these little rubber puppets that you put on your hands. And the conversations that we had, they were teaching us Spanish, and there was the policía and there was the civilian, and they were talking, and the abuelo needed the policía, and the police were there as heroes. You know how you get the firemen who come to the school, and the firemen are heroes, and everybody looks at the firemen and they love them. When I was a little girl, the police were the heroes, and I was taught that the police are our protectors, that they are heroes, that they are with this, that they are that, until I actually needed the police. And when I went in through the system and needed the police, I found out that police are lazy, that police are judgmental. There are many police that don't want to do their damn jobs. There are police that are racist, angry, sexist, violent. I learned because I had been taught that the police were our friends. This is why when I see these videos of these police officers doing their dances and sitting up with children and buying them ice cream, these videos are dangerous because they negate a very real threat in our neighborhood. And they posit these people as people who are protectors. And I say all of this because there's an alignment with how it is that we're taught about men. We're taught that you see a person, and especially for a person like me who was raised in a household with a very protective father and brothers and protective family members who are not American, so I was raised by Black men who are not American and Black men who are protectors and providers. And when I went out there into the world, I realized that there are things that are very different than what it is that I had seen and been taught. When I became a life coach and I started hearing the stories of what other Black women are actually going through, that's when I started shifting my videos and started making different types of videos to be able to assist in what's really truly going on out there, because I can't walk around with these pie glasses on pretending as if my experience growing up is the universal experience that exists out there. So the issue is that there are girls who are being taught that men are protectors and providers, and that that it's the maleness that makes them this thing. And then you go out there and you see a person who is bigger and stronger than you, and you're like, oh, this person is going to protect me. And he punches you right in the head, knocks you clean out. And you're like, but I'm smaller, I'm not as strong. How could he do this? And there are men who are bred. So while you're bred to go out there and be like, hi, are you my protector? Boom, 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 boom. And you're hopping behind these men and you're like, you can protect me. And he's elbowing, uppercutting, and stomping on you. And you're like, what's going on? Where's the disconnect? There are some men who are raised, they're like wild animals, and they're raised to feel that a person being stronger and weaker than you is an advantage for them, because then they got no competition they don't have to worry, they won't get beat up. I mean, because a lot of these men, you see that they behave a certain way with women, but among other men, they don't dare. They don't know how to control themselves when it comes to your property. They're breaking it up and smashing it up. But when they're out there at work, they don't start smashing things. When they're in front of the police, they don't start smashing, because they still know and they understand. They understand power. And so what we have to do is we have to start teaching our girls to be discerning, because we've been, for far too long, we've been hopping behind the teachings of men who have taught us that God is a man. And we got people out there talking about Heavenly Father this, and Eve and her apple, and Eve the bad one. And we have all of this programming. And we have got to stop following behind men who have not demonstrated an ability to properly lead, who have not demonstrated that they care about protecting or providing. There's nothing that exists inside of a sack that says that I am going to be better at anything than anybody else. And there's nothing about just having a penis. There are, but don't get me wrong, there is genetic programming evolutionarily speaking. However, there's so much trauma that exists in the Black community that there are a lot of people who are going against what is naturally embedded in them. There's so many people. You ever wonder, you ever seen a person who snapped? I don't know if you've ever seen a person who snapped. I thought about this one day. So there are people out there, they will have all of this trauma, and then one day it's just too damn much. Then one day an egg falls on the floor, cracks, and everything comes crumbling down for them. Was it the egg? No, it wasn't the egg. It was all of the stuff that was compiled on top of that. So that now a person is acting outside of how they would typically behave, and they have all of these mental illnesses as a result of trauma. And there are a lot of people in the Black community who are walking around with trauma. There are a lot of people in a lot of different communities, but there's so much trauma, especially when you start talking about trauma being passed down through your DNA. There's so much trauma in the Black community that we need special lessons just for us and navigating around. It's kind of like when you're out there and there's a bunch of IUDs in the ground, and there's special training that needs to happen for an area where there's a bunch of landmines that are underneath that you don't see. And so Black women need a special amount of training, especially not to go out there thinking that any and everybody is going to be their protector just because they have a beard and some muscles. That beard and muscles might be what it is that they think is their advantage over you to harm you.
I'm thinking what you said about, and you're right. I grew up not seeing that. There was no man in the house. It was all females. And what I see now, I'm 36, and I was married. I got pregnant real young, and we did get married, and we recently divorced. But he's Nigerian. So I do understand about how you grew up and how he acts with my daughter. Like, she's growing up, she's 12, but she's becoming very curvy and everything. And he's very protective over what she wears and who she's around, and the old school discipline. Like, if you disrespect in this house, like, this is my house, I pay the bills, you don't pay nothing, keep this door open type of thing. Or you don't tell me what to do. So I do have someone in my children's lives that would do that. But for me, I never had that example. I didn't have example of good relationships, of a good marriage. I got into a marriage not knowing what to do. For some reason, I knew how to take care of the kids. That's another thing I think in Black communities with women, we know how to take care of them children for the most part. When we get married, it's sort of like, okay, what I do with this man now? And that's sort of how I was I got married at 21. It was sort of like that. It was sort of, okay, I know what to do with the baby. I know what to do when he was a toddler. And now it's like, how do I be a wife with this man? He wants me to do the wife duties. He wants to take care of the kids. And I'm sort of like, I'm tired. And at 25, I was diagnosed with schizophrenia. So that was a whole another thing we had to deal with. And mental illness in Black communities, you're also right about that.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, when I talk to other people, Black people especially, they don't even know where to begin to even get help. And I was very blessed and fortunate to I had my mother. She didn't know where to go, but she was like, I'm going to ask somebody. You know, a lot of mothers like that. I don't know what to do, but I'm going to ask someone what to do. And it went from there, going to hospital and learning from there. But since I don't see it, I'm sort of thinking it's not even in men now. I'm sort of thinking, and how you explained it, I can understand how that's just passed on through generations, that there's going to sort of flip on who they are. As a male, because I haven't seen it, right? And my husband is sort of an example because he is Nigerian and he did grow up a different way. But other than that, it's like, are they protectors? Because I keep on getting the opposite of that. And
some men are not.
Talking to men, I'm not going to go into it, but I was listening to somebody else. I've come to find out I'm not going to name drop, but it was someone similar to Kevin Samuels. And I called in.
I disagreed, and how they talk to women is so degrading. It's disheartening. I'm like, is this how Black men are? Because if it is, I think I might bow out of the whole thing now. Because if you even disagree, especially these words, they're so degrading. And at the end of it, he said, you can get your fat ass off my line, and he banged up on me. He said, I'm a size 18, so the financial abuse that I had, I should have been grateful, and that's all my size 18 could get. Basically. So if you're a size 18, it's basically you better get what you're going to get. You're fat. You're ungrateful. You should have been grateful for that. You should have been grateful for what you got. And I'm thinking, this is how men are thinking. Do they want to protect and provide? At this point, I'm sort of confused now. I don't even know what to do. That's why I do watch you a lot, because now it's like, if this is the consensus of the collective.
No, it's just, okay, let me just say this, right? You remember how you said that you were diagnosed with schizophrenia, right? I'm sure that when you first started going through the motions that let you and other people around you know that something was wrong, or something was a little amiss, right? Because I don't want to say wrong, because, you know, it's mental health. It's like, you know, you can't help it. I'm sure there were things that took place in your life that were a little off, right? And people started noticing this is a little bit off. And even you started feeling this feeling like, why am I doing this? What's going on? And you had these urges and compulsions to behave in a certain way, right? Okay. Now, what is it that we are expecting, right? From men who has this background of being trafficked and passed down in the DNA and the abuse and no fathers and this, that, and the other. What is it that we're expecting of them? We're expecting them to know how to be leaders. We're expecting them to want to be a thing. They have all of this mental health issues unaddressed. And it's like, they really can't help themselves. They can't help themselves any more than you could help yourself when you got your diagnosis, right? The only thing that you can do is realize that a person is not well, right? When you hear a person speaking, you realize that they're not well. You just go about your business. You just have to leave them right there. You can't expect something of them that just isn't there. I remember years ago when I was making yogurt, right? I used to make homemade yogurt, and there's a certain type of milk that has been heated past the point that I think it's ultra pasteurized or something like that. I can't remember what it's called, but there's a certain type of milk that is heated past a certain point that it doesn't have the bacteria in it to be able for the cultures to breed inside of the yogurt, inside of the milk, so it can never become yogurt, right? There's some people out there that just don't have that thing inside of them for it to be able to work. You know, some people, they have no interest in doing the mental health help, then doing the work. They have no interest in, like that man we saw, he seemed like he had no interest. And unlike ultra pasteurized milk, there could be a chance if people would take the time. But what it is that we do is we socialize our girls into having this pie in the sky idea about what men are and who they are and how we can save them, and we can use our rib cage to be the incubator for broken boys, and we can heal their souls and all this other stuff, right? Yeah. And we just have to really just allow men to be who it is that they choose to be. And if we want to be down with who it is that he is choosing and showing you that he's choosing to be, we be down with it. And if we don't want to be down with it, we don't. I don't try to change men. Don't try to change them. Don't try.
You'll lose yourself in the process.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't try to change them. Let them be who it is that they in their sound mind, or partially sound or unsound mind and body, has decided that they want to be. Let them be who it is that they decided they want to be. And if they are not a good fit for you, keep it moving. It's as simple as that. Date the actual, not the potential. Be with who it is that this person is presenting, because men don't want you to change them. Let's take a survey. We got some men in the audience right now.
You know,
men.
The lesson I learned from what you just said. Sorry for interrupting.
Oh, go
I
ahead.
did learn something from you right at this moment. Right now, don't even take it personal when a man seems outside of what you want them to be. Just say, okay, I see where you at. I'm going to take a left on this one. Because a lot of us take their stuff personally, and we get hurt on how they treat us.
It is your job as a woman to see what it is that he's presenting, and you either take him up on his offer or you don't. It's as simple as that. So we're going to ask the men in the audience. All right. Heterosexual men, right? Heterosexual men. If you want a woman to change you, put up the number 3. If you want a woman to accept you as you are, put up the number 4. Let's see the survey. Come on. I'm going to take you off cam for a second so we can get these surveys in, okay? We'll be right back. Put yourself on mute, please. All right, let's take a look and see these numbers. If you want women to change you, put up the number 3. If you want women to accept you as you are and who it is that you've created yourself to be, put up the number 4. Okay. All right. Take a look and see. You see the men in here who are answering. They're letting you know. We don't want you to change us. So then that lets you know that if they are not the right ones for you, that's it. Leave them where they are and let them go find somebody else who is a right fit for them, because it's not you. Don't be, oh, you need to do this differently. Oh, this is a grown man full of ego, brimstone, piss, and vinegar. And he just does not, he wants to be who it is that he is choosing as a grown adult to be. He wants to be that person. There are some men out there who are kind of flexible on what it is that they're willing to change and not change, but for the most part, they don't want you to change them. But they want you to be like, to deal with the fuckery and the bullshit. They want you to deal with that. I read some meme. If she sleeps out on the sidewalk with you, that's a real one. Is you mad? Imagine. Listen, if your parents didn't love you, you have to love yourself. You didn't come into this world for some man out there who he himself don't got a pot to piss in for you to be over there squatting over the non-pot and pissing in it too. Come on now. Listen, Kelly says you can't change people and most men won't change. It's like, listen, think about yourself, how hard it is for you to change when you want to. Now imagine trying to force somebody outside of you to change when they don't. Come on now. You fighting a battle you don't need to be fighting.
Period.
Listen, so I'm going to read the apple that came in. Nicole sends $10 and says support. Thank you. Well, thank you so much, Nicole. We appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So we're going to head back over to the studio audience, and you're up on the screen. What, let me see. Amber. Hi, Amber. You can.
Hello.
Hi. So what is your comment?
I've been in and out because I've been dealing with customers, but for the mental illness, it's kind of like a stigma that don't nobody want to hear about it. Now, me, from a kid, I dealt with depression a lot, but my mom didn't want to accept it. I knew something was wrong because I would like cry for no reason. Didn't want to be bothered with nobody. So, I knew, but she didn't know. But my thing is, the last man I just divorced, he was very verbally abusive. And people think when they get these preachers, which is what he was, that
he's a good man, he's a godly man, he's this, he's that. But behind the closed door, he was something totally different. Now, I'm a plus size lady. I would be called fat. If I put certain things on, well, I will know I look good in. You need to take that off. He was saying my butt is too big, and he was just very abusive. Then he was kind of old fashioned. He wanted me to cook every day, clean every day, and I have my own business to run. And it became verbal abusive. And then, like you said time and time again, when you call yourself trying to change a man, you lose yourself in the process. I had to get to the point where I started back loving me. Now, because of this, I have trust issues now. My anxiety is always at a 10. And I'm back on depression medicine. So, and I think you said it earlier, mental and verbal abuse is kind of worse than physical because words hurt. Words hurt. And I'm seeing a therapist now so I can get over some of that. Because, I had stuff my mom said to me that, it's stuff. It's stuff.
Yeah.
And, growing up in that household, I had a great stepfather, don't get me wrong, but I never heard anything positive. I never heard anything positive. It was always about my stepsister, my stepbrother, may he rest in peace, and my mom's husband. I was considered the black sheep. When they did things, I got blamed for because I was the oldest. And me in my room doing homework, they beat them broke something in the house. I automatically blamed on for it because I'm the oldest.
Yeah.
So, it was, from a child to, I say a few months ago, I dealt with abuse. I've had physical abuse to where I have seizures now because I've taken too many hits to the head.
What was it that made you decide? What was it that made you stay when you were receiving the physical violence?
Because the guy was always say, and I've heard a lot of men say this to women, nobody's gonna love you like me. I love you. Then he threatened my family.
Right, but I want to. So
you leave me, I'm going to.
Right. So yeah. So of course. So they do threaten families. It's very difficult to leave. But when the physical abuse first started, what was it that made you stay, and how did you eventually were able to get out?
My self-esteem was actually a 0.
Okay.
And it was actually 0, and I thought that that was all I could get. But what made me leave, when you ask, has anybody ever snapped? He hit me one good time, I snapped, and I almost killed him.
Okay.
But I've had nightmares from that relationship.
Well, you know what? It's a good thing that you're in therapy right now. So that is amazing. I'm going to give you your props and congratulations for doing what it is that you need to do to make sure that you took care of yourself. So that is good. I'm glad that you're in therapy right now. Thank you for.
I got 3 kids looking up to before I got 2.
Yes, thank you, and thank you for sharing that. Thank you. We're going to let you jump off because we're going to wrap up the show right now. Thank you so much for sharing that. It's so important. Yeah, it's so important to get therapy. I can't say it enough. You know, there's so many of us out there who I wouldn't be the woman that I am today if I had not gone through therapy to get over things from the past. And even if it doesn't seem like it should be a big deal to other people, if it's a big deal to you, if there's something that's nagging and troubling you, get down to the bottom of it, because it could be like a chain, like, you know how they have like a link chain. It could be all of these different things chained together that are troubling you. You know, and get mental health checkups, even if you don't think that anything is wrong. It's like being the person that you want to be requires effort. It requires effort. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to come back after the commercial.
Are you tired of missing Tanya TKO's live videos? Arriving late when the video is well underway or about to end? Are you fatigued of only seeing a live video randomly while perusing YouTube and Facebook? Or worse, randomly unsubscribed? Well, now you can get a text notification whenever I go live. No longer are we dependent on the algorithm of these fickle platforms. For just $1.99 a month US and Canada, or $4.99 a month international, you get a personalized text message 15 minutes before each live show. Now, you can show up early with the Tech Squad, meet other people from all over the world, and get invited to secret broadcasts off-platform. Most importantly, support your favorite independent creator. Go to TanyaTKO.com and click on text. Join the TKO Tech Squad today. For just $1.99 a month US and Canada, or $22 a year if you pay in advance, $4.99 a month international, $50 a year if you pay in advance, you'll never again be tardy to the party. I'll see you on the next broadcast. TanyaTKO.com/text.
Hey, I love that so much. All right, so welcome back, everybody. I appreciate all of you coming out and being a part of the broadcast. We're going to just wrap this up. We were talking about this guy. Oh my gosh, let me see if I can bring him back for a quick moment. Him, right there. Let me see if I could. Oh, I can't even. It's just too, him right there. It's too much. I just, even looking at his face is exhausting to me. I can't. Look, go out there and love one another. And most importantly, love yourself. And part of loving yourself is what? I'm going to go to the studio audience for the self-love lesson. What's the self-love lesson here that you all picked up on?
Allowing them to be who they are, and we move on.
Where you calling us from?
They are.
I'm in Chicago now.
By being who they are.
I'm sorry, the video started playing in the background, so I only heard part of what you said. What's the self-love lesson you picked up on?
Allowing men to be who they are and know that who they are has no reflection on us. We just keep it moving.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for that.
Another one is to definitely know your self-worth.
Yes.
Know who you are. You need to love yourself, because if you don't do it, nobody's going to do it better than you.
Absolutely. Who else? What's the self-love lesson here?
Definitely take care of your mental health. Take care of your mental health. And when you see something wrong within yourself,
who is that's speaking?
Shanae. It's Shanae.
Oh, Shanae, your camera went.
Yeah. Because I'm in a different room. But
okay, so then all right. So when you get that together, come back, okay? So who else? Self-love lesson.
Validate yourself and not allow a man to validate you.
Okay. You gathered that from the video we watched today. Tell me how you gathered that. What was the takeaway that gave you that?
Well, when I can't call him gentleman, when the guy was the way he was talking about his baby mamas.
Oh.
We have to realize he's going to talk about you the same way.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like he's validating you by saying that you're nothing less to him than just someone to lay on the back and have some babies with.
So you have to validate yourself before you can allow a man to validate you, because you should never let somebody else validate you.
Got you. Okay, thank you. That was a good one. All right. Who else? What other self-love lesson did we gather here?
Ask the relevant questions in the beginning.
Ask what?
Ask the correct questions. You gotta vet for person.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you. And who else?
I feel like I learned that boundaries are important because of these questions you have to ask in the beginning, so that you know what you're willing to deal with and what you're not willing to deal with.
Absolutely. That's a good one. Thank you. Who else? What are the self-love lessons that we got from today's video? You have to unmute yourself and just come forward. If you have your cam on, if you don't, then that's cool. And if you are not able to and you're trying to figure it out, raise your hand and then I'll call on you. So who else do we have here? Let's see. If you need to raise your hand in the thing, let me know. Angelica has her hand raised. You can just unmute yourself and speak up. What's the self-love lesson here?
Always know like what you're getting yourself into before you get really deep into it.
Okay. How do you find out what you're getting yourself into?
By observing how the person's not just their mannerisms, but their body language and how they're talking, basically, can give you a hint where they're coming from.
Okay, cool. That's actually a really good one. All right, who else? What's the self-love lessons here that we gathered from today's video?
If you don't love yourself,
Go ahead.
if you don't love yourself, you shouldn't be looking for someone to be in a relationship with. You must love yourself first.
Okay, but how do you know whether or not you love yourself? How do you know?
Well, you can't be looking for validation from other people, and you can't like he was all about the ego today. So he just doesn't, he cares only for himself, but I don't think he loves himself.
Okay, but then how would a person know? Like what would need to be in place? So you said if you don't love yourself, but how does a person know whether they love themselves or not?
Well, you shouldn't care what other people think of you.
Okay.
Like if you are strong in your own values and what you believe, then what other people think and say shouldn't affect you. Okay, so I'm just trying to flesh this out because I want to get the lesson point here. So in your scenario, you're saying that the guy does not love himself, right? Yes.
Okay. And so in your example of how a person knows whether they love themselves or not, you said that you shouldn't care what other people think of you. Did he care what other people thought of him?
That's true. Well, no, what I mean is like, even he was like, oh, well, the women say, and then like he would turn around and say like, if they didn't say what he liked for them to say, then it was a problem for him.
Okay.
You know what I mean? If they're not saying what he wants them to say.
Okay. So you did pick up on some self-consciousness from him, that he was conscious of him and kind of lashing out at people. Okay, cool. All right. Thank you. All right. What other self-love lessons do we have here?
I think it's important to realize that when you're dealing with someone that is speaking to you in a kind of like gaslighty kind of way, I think it's really important to understand that in that 10 minutes or 5-minute interaction, you're probably not going to change their mind or change kind of their mindset. And I think we have to decide if we want to put that energy into that conversation or not, because I think a lot of times we think that we can teach someone, but I think we can choose to remove ourselves from that conversation once we start seeing kind of disrespect or gaslighting kind of things. It's our choice if we want to like try to make it a teachable moment for someone in the room or whatever.
Okay.
We don't have to put that labor up onto ourselves necessarily.
Oh, wonderful. I love that. All right, and Sheree is back. Sheree, go ahead. What's the self-love lesson from today's video?
The mental health, and because definitely it's home to me, to take care of your personal mental health, so you don't fall into relationships where you feel the need to be validated, or you are being abused, or you're trying to change someone. And also to recognize the red flags of other people's mental, other mental illness or unhealthiness, to see those red flags, even in the beginning, because believe me, in mental health and mental health issues, there are, and even interactions, that 10-minute interactions sometimes, not all the time, some people can hide it well, you see those red flags and you get the hell out of there, basically.
Yeah.
Because it goes sort of downhill from there when someone isn't dealing with it. Because so many people walk around, and I've learned a lot of people walk around with schizophrenia. Either they hear voices, they're scared, they're depressed, but they walk around with it. And people are so really depressed, like a functioning alcoholic. People are functioning mental illnesses lots of times.
Yes,
And,
you know what? That is such a good one. Thank you so much. Thank you. That's a good one. All right. It looks like Cheryl has her hand up. Cheryl, talk to us. What's the self-love lesson in this video? Today's video.
My motto is, you learn a lot from a dumb.
What?
And what I mean by that, I'm not saying they're dumb. I'm not saying dumb. But if you listen to them a lot of times, they're telling themselves. And they think that you are dumb enough to fall for anything they say.
Mm-hmm.
So if you listen to them and don't say so much, you'll learn a lot from them. And they may look at your facial expression and see how you respond or how you do things. And through that, you can tell from them how they talk, how they move, how they act. And they think that you're falling for this. I see you liking this. And they keep going on, they say gaslighting, making it seem like, they got it going on. But really, they're thinking you're dumb enough to fall for the routine.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. Wow. These were all so very, 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 very good. Thank you all so much. You know what? I have learned some things in this video. I've learned about how people process information and how different people have different takeaways from the same. I'm glad that we did that segment at the end. We need to have that in all my videos where the studio audience talks about what the self-love takeaway is, because everybody is going to hear and experience something different. And there were so many good ones there. I've learned so much. So thank you for all of the people who came forward. Thank you to the young lady who spoke about, the abuse that she faced and how she had zero self-esteem, and that is what caused her to stay. But the thing is, she had already been primed for the abuse from her early childhood. So it started out with her family criticizing her and putting her down and beating up on her mentally, emotionally. And then when she went out there, she had already been conditioned for it. So that was really great. And then also one of the takeaways that the young lady just said that I think is so important is the mental health, and realizing that some of these people that we're seeing out here have mental health, have mental unwellness that they're not dealing with. And we see them walking around and we see them functioning just like a functioning alcoholic, like she mentioned. And these people are functioning with mental unwellness. And some of these vloggers that we see have mental unwellness that are unaddressed. Some of these men out here who are giving video advice and all this other stuff have some mental unwellness that's not addressed. And so absolutely, I think that one of the biggest things that we can do is realize that there's some people out there that just are not well. And it's not your fault. There's nothing that you can do about it. You just need to realize that there's some people that are not well. You can advise for them to get some help if you feel comfortable enough. But other than that, just know that some people have mental unwellness, that their parents had mental unwellness and they just thought it was just the way that things were. I remember when I was a young girl, I was in high school, just got into high school, and I had a friend whose mother shaved off all of her hair, and she had like one little braid on the top of her head. And her mother used to behave erratic, and it was like when we were little, like we were like, we knew something was a little off. And my friend, she did a lot of caretaking of herself because her mother, there was something going on with her mother. And her mother would talk and talk and talk, and some of the things that she would say were not coherent. And, you know, there are people out there who are functioning. They're able to go to the store, they're able to get their groceries, they're able to go to work, because her mother worked and all of this other stuff. And she even made crafts and all of this stuff. And she was not well mentally. There was something that was off, but we were children and we were really too young to really kind of see. And my friend was too young to really kind of do anything about it. But some people were raised in homes where mental unwellness was the norm. And her mother was a happy, mentally unwell person. Like, she was happy and full of joy, at least when I saw her. But there's some people whose mentally unwell parent is angry and violent and abusive and or depressed or wanting to end it all, or other people, or homicidal, or any number of things. And so all I can say is just realize that some of the people whose behavior we recognize as behavior that seems familiar to us, some of that behavior is part of the pathology of untreated mental unwellness gone on for generations. That's what my whole point in that was. So I'm going to read a few more of the comments from people who are commenting here. So Eli says, I didn't realize till this year I was working. I stopped fighting and watched the relationship crumble so much to the point I no longer even wanted it anymore. Okay, so they're speaking, and I love when you all speak with each other. Actively listening from the spirit will help us interact with one another from one empathetic space, understanding we can only fix ourselves. This is the self-love process. Absolutely. Kirby says, wow, this is eye-opening. Thank you. I'm so glad that there are people who are benefiting from the conversation. Just Jay says, some dudes like to connect and not commit, just to dump their problems in your lap and make them feel good. Yes, absolutely. And on that note, we are going to jump back over to the studio audience where you all are going to wave your goodbyes. I'll give you a countdown. So we are going to be waving goodbye in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and wave your goodbyes, everybody. Bye. Thank you all so much for coming out. We appreciate you participating. Thank you so much. We appreciate all of you for coming out. Thank you. Round of applause for yourselves and everybody. Thank you.
Bye. Bye, guys.
All right. Thank you all. I will see you all in the next video. Bye, everybody. Bye, 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 bye. Go out there and love one another. Most importantly, what? Love yourself. And part of loving yourself are watching videos like this and really taking the time to dissect what that message means for you in your own personal life.
Love yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. See you later, everybody. Thank you all so much for coming out. Tanya TKO, and I am out. Peace.